neighbor's leaf blower. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states.
It's heating up across Arizona. Make sure you know the signs of heat stress, cramps, rashes, exhaustion, dizziness. Working in high temperatures can be dangerous. It can lead to an altered mental state, damage your organs, and even cause death. Protect yourself. Get plenty of water, rest, and shade during the day. Learn more from the Industrial Commission of Arizona. Visit heat.az.gov. That's heat.az.gov. This message is sponsored by the Industrial Commission of Arizona.
Don't be fooled by the people you meet on social media. It may start as an innocent conversation, but anyone who tries to sell you pills is nothing more than a drug dealer. And if you think tiny pills can't do much harm, think again. Fentanyl can end it all. Know the truth about fentanyl at learnmoreaz.org. Don't be fooled. Don't be faked out. Visit learnmoreaz.org. This message is sponsored by the Substance Abuse Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
The road to better health leads to my longtime friends, Dr. William Gaspar and his wife Ava at Beehive IV Wellness in Chandler. J.D. Hayworth here, and the buzz about Beehive is spelled out in its middle name. IV. Not only are today's popular treatments available, IV hydration, joint injections, semaglutide for weight loss, as well as many more, it's also the Gaspar's holistic naturopathic approach that helps your body with self-healing. That means treating the underlying causes of chronic disease, from chronic fatigue to fibromyalgia, even those dealing with Lyme disease and lupus. The experienced medical staff designs a customized plan for each patient. So walk in or make an appointment today. Mention my name, J.D. Hayworth. Get half off your first treatment. Better health awaits you at Beehive IV Wellness in Chandler. Search Beehive IV Wellness on your cell phone. And remember, you'll thrive at Beehive.
Hey everybody, it's Mark Asher, back to tell you about my great friends at the Lund Mortgage Team. Did you know that the Lund Mortgage Team was founded back in 1999? That's right, they're celebrating 25 years in existence this year. And you know what you have to do to stay in business that long? You have to be good at what you do. And the Lund Mortgage Team is not just good, they are great. They have helped thousands of people save thousands of dollars over those 25 years here in the Valley of the Sun. They only lend in Arizona. And they're mortgage brokers, which means they can shop your rate around. They're not tied to just one set of rates. Mortgage rates can get crazy. They can get high. They can get low. There's good times to strike and there's times to stay on the sideline. Let the Lund Mortgage Team be your coach, be your team leader when it comes to these huge decisions. Call 623-875-9940. That's 623-875-9940, or you can always check them out at lundmortgage.com. Great website with all the tools you need. Call them today. They're my great friends, and you'll love them. It's the Lund Mortgage Team.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM. Wherever you go, take us along. Listen to our live stream on our free Fanatic app. Download it today.
All right, people, settle down because it's time
for what? Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it. All right, everybody, it's Monday here on the Daily Blender, and your good friend, radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside not Randy White. Maybe he'll be back tomorrow, but we got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. Navy Brad says, greetings, everyone. I'd like to thank Radio Ron, Jeffrey, Randy, Keon for a great day at Dave & Buster's. And by the way, today is National Doggy Day. Yeah, it is. It's a National Dog Day and National Toilet Paper Day. So if you're only wiping once a year, I guess today's your day. So enjoy the toilet paper. I don't know why I figure every day is toilet paper day if you're clean, I guess, or bidet day.
If all of your internal organs are functioning properly.
Oh, that's another good. Yeah, it might be National Colostomy Day back for you. I don't know.
Who knows?
I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. Anyway, so yes, we had fun out there at Dave & Buster's on Friday. It was great to see you guys who showed up out there. This was the first time in probably 10 years I was able to, after the remote, hang around. And actually, I got a chance to talk to everybody who was there at least twice. And that's new for me. New because usually there's just so much going on and there's so many people. And then there's, I'm in a hurry to be this or go to that or whatever. So that made me want to rethink how we do things, because I really enjoyed Friday night. Friday after the remote, getting to talk to people, like Beer Nuts and Lacrosse Guy. Oh, by the way, Lacrosse Guy showed up bearing gifts.
Mhm.
Thank you, Lacrosse Guy. Now that I mentioned it, I don't know if I'm supposed to say what those gifts are. So I got to wait till he says I can say what those gifts are.
Oh, that's a good point. I'm glad I didn't just blurt it out.
Yeah. But they were very nice gifts. And of course, the gift of everybody's presence was really great too. And, Navy Brad, of course, was there, and Fish Tank showed up, had some fun with Fish Tank. And, Lost Toby was there. Everybody, was there. And Berg shows up, and it was fun. I was glad I got the chance to finally, talk to people. I don't generally get to talk to people that much. Not because I don't want to talk to people. It's just there's always some reason. And so here's what I was talking to Keon and Fish Tank about. I want to change the way we do the drafts. I want to change the way we do them. Remember, you weren't here, but RTO Sullivan's, we did the draft that year. We had like 120 people show up. We crammed everybody in that Irish bar, and it was fun. And I was on the mic, and everybody was laughing, having a good time. And because we were staggering the drafts, and then I was heckling, oh my God, so-and-so just took this guy, because I was in every draft room, and we just had a lot of fun with that, and mercilessly teasing people and just, having a good time. I thought, that's too big. And, so to do it one league at a time might be too small. So the idea that I had was to do the, kind of like most leagues, like, hey, let's go meet on over at Dave & Buster's. We'll get a table and we'll do our draft right there. And everybody sits there and they heckle each other as they sit there. So I thought, what if we had 3 leagues a time that are drafting, 3 leagues at a time? So that'd be like 30 people just sitting there. And then Keon, Randy, and I would just be on mic. This is off air. This isn't even a show. This is off air where we're hanging out with you, chit-chatting, and then mercilessly heckling you as you do your draft.
Sounds like a good time to me, personally.
Yeah. So what would happen is Keon would work one draft, I'd work the other draft, and then Randy worked the other draft, and we'd just be on mic. And like, oh my God, can you believe that this guy just did this? And oh, this is big. The guess who just went way earlier than they should? Blah 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 blah. And we just have fun with fewer people. You know what I'm saying? So we do one draft, we do the next draft. Yeah, I figure we have 14 leagues. If we do them 3 at a time, it'll only take us 5 goes at it, 5 hours. Yeah. And then everybody gets a little more personal time with us and each other. I just kind of like that idea. I don't know. Is 3 leagues too much, or you think it should be 2 leagues? Because it's 2 leagues at a time. It'll take us seven times of doing it.
I think 3 might be tricky, but possible. I don't see anything wrong with 3 of them.
Yeah, no, I'm just
because then it'll keep things going, and then you're not waiting too long for the next bad idea or whatever it is that you're trying to make fun of.
Yeah. Big George says, here's a crazy idea. Why not change the platform to something more stable next year? Yes. Okay. Listen. Okay.
I didn't have the problem that you guys had.
Holy God. Everybody had this thing where you go to the league and the screen would be gray and you couldn't do anything. You're like, okay. I was patient. I was very patient, and it still was just sitting there gray. My phone, I was ready to draft up my phone because that was good to go. But I didn't want to hit the draft thing on my phone until I knew that there was no chance for the computer. I'm better on a computer. And I was just like, oh my God. And this explained why a bunch of people ended up auto drafting. They just couldn't get in. We were like, why the heck would 5 people in that league auto draft? Well, the reason we find out later is because the NFL.com app is this garbage. And so we were sitting there waiting for it. And then my wife says, how about this? Go back to the original fantasy login page. click on that. And then when you see your team at the top, it says draft, get in the draft. And I got into the draft through there. I didn't do it through the inside of the league. I did it from the front door of the league.
I think that's how I did it. Not intentionally. I just happened to go to the page because I didn't have that problem actually. It just, but that I
probably
think that's
because you did it that way.
Yeah, I just started there, so I guess I just got lucky.
No, everybody reported having problems getting in on a computer through a gray screen, and it turned out it wasn't just trying to get into the draft; it was also just getting into the league. And then it would finally populate, and I go, "Oh, let me go to my team." Click gray, and I'm like, "Oh my god!" I mean, I was like within minutes of the draft, not sure if I was going to be able to get in. So yeah, I apologize, everybody. I have been defending NFL.com fantasy for God, how many years?
Because
we moved away from it for a year, and I'm like, the hell with this, and we went back. But now I don't know. I can't defend it anymore. We're probably gonna have to move.
It was easier to defend when the app sucked, but the website was fine.
Right.
But the website's gonna suck too. I mean, I don't even know what you're supposed to do. NFL, you billion-dollar corporation. Why don't you figure out how to make your stuff work?
Yeah, and because they don't care about anything but money.
Yeah,
as is evident by everything you hear us talk about on this show, we're gonna have to find a new home. Now, I don't know if it's gonna be Yahoo. I don't know if it's going to be ESPN. I'm sure everyone's gonna have a lot of opinions that I'm not gonna listen to. I need to figure out what the best platform is for me, because I'm the guy who has to run 14 leagues.
Mm-hmm.
So what I might do is join 2 leagues. I'm going to join one in ESPN and join one in Yahoo. Is there any place else that they have good fantasy football leagues?
Those are the only 3: NFL, ESPN, Yahoo. Those are the only 3 I've ever used. So I don't know.
I just don't want to do ESPN. I'll do Yahoo before I do ESPN.
Yeah, I'm actually running a team with a friend of mine, and she's on the ESPN app, and I don't like it.
Hate it. We did it one year because Eric Cohen was like, I'm like, oh, geez.
I'm not a fan.
Up. So, maybe it'll be Yahoo next year. But here's where we're at. And now, of course, after it doesn't matter, go in there and start clicking on stuff, right? I go in there and start clicking on stuff, and it works perfectly. There's no more gray screen now that it doesn't matter.
Yeah, so maybe just draft day, that particular Saturday, they were just overloaded.
Yeah, it was just kind of a bummer. Anyway, so yeah, just understand, I have been defending the NFL app for years, and now I'm done. I can't justify it, and I hate the fact that people might have ended up auto drafting because the servers for this fantasy football thing couldn't handle it. Very, very just sort of sad about it. 888-368-1580. Kiss the Cook says, the guy that had his junk bitten by a python last week, an autopsy was done on the snake, and it was detected it died from a nut allergy.
Okay. All right. Well, all right.
I'm glad. Did you write that?
I'm glad that joke came back around. I really am. That was fun.
Oh, what do you mean? Somebody else used that joke? I thought he
wrote it. It was just that it was a joke from last week.
We did the nut allergy joke last week?
Well, no.
I knew we talked about python biting a guy in the giblets, but I didn't know we had a nut allergy joke.
That's what I mean. Like we talked about it. The story came back, not the joke. The story came back with a nice joke attached to it.
Donnie, this isn't where we do this. He says, dear filthy Speedos, trade me Justin Jefferson. Yeah, you know what, Phil? Give him Justin Jefferson. I think you'll be better off without him. Baker's Cocky Hen says, oh, wait, he sent me a thing. Okay. He says, I had a poker game and forgot about the draft. So I auto drafted a decent team, says Baker's Cocky Hens. Now let's see. Yeah, Anthony Richardson is your quarterback. Kenneth Walker, the third, as your running back, with another guy who's hurt, Brooks. Jamar Chase and Garrett Wilson as your wide receivers. Trey McBride as your tight end, and you got London as your receiver from the Falcons. Yeah, it's not too bad. Stafford is a backup. Elliott, I don't know. I don't think I would ever put Ezekiel Elliott on a fantasy football team again.
No.
Not even as a backup.
He's been years away from being any good.
Yeah, that's not too bad, Baker's Cocky Hens. I felt like I did really nicely. I had the 6th pick, and I got like 6 of the guys I wanted. Although 3 of the guys I got were not in the order I thought they'd be there. I was really surprised how many guys went way too early. And then I was also surprised at how many guys were still sitting around later. But we'll get to that here in just a minute. Taco Kenny says, holy hangover, Jeffco. We had a blast. We were supposed to be there for happy hour, not happy hours. Yeah, these guys, Taco Kenny and Mrs. Taco Kenny, they damn near shut the place down. They came to party and had a good time. That was a great time, Taco Kenny. It was good hanging out with you. Harvey Putswaddler says, Sleeper is the best one. NFL Blitzer says, Sleeper, pretty cool fantasy platform. I've never heard of Sleeper. That means they are true to their name.
And it also means that it's maybe likely they won't be overloaded. I've never heard of Sleeper either, though.
I will check it. Why do you guys like the Sleeper? What is about it you like? I just brought it up here on the screen. I will take a look at it later on, but I just want to hear from you guys. What is it about Sleeper that you dig? Big George says, I agree. ESPN sucked. I completely support whatever decision you make. I trust you. Shows you what I know. I let myself get annoyed into trying to shut Eric Cohen up by going to ESPN, and then I brought it back to NFL. We were fine, and now looks like we're going to Yahoo. Baker's Cocky Hen says, I already dropped Zeke. That's right. Forgot you auto-drafted. Good job, Baker's Cocky Hens. I've already dropped and added a player. This is a first for me. Usually, I'm the guy, I draft my team, and I got no more work to do. Unless somebody drops somebody exceptional, I'm like, oh, geez, I got to get that guy. I have no more work to do, but I had work to do today, and I did it. And I don't know if this is going to turn into anything good or if this is just going to be something bad, but I did a thing. Did you see the news? Juju Smith-Schuster got signed up with the Chiefs. So
again,
I grabbed him immediately. He was a free agent, and he didn't even have the Chiefs logo. So now I have Rashee Rice, I got Xavier Worthy, and Juju Smith-Schuster. Now, these are not main guys. These are backup guys, and these are throwaways for me. I'm just going to see who's going to be hit. Now, if Rashee Rice gets a suspension, I'll put him on the shelf. And who knows? Xavier Worthy, it turns into the guy. Juju Smith-Schuster could turn into the guy. Actually, of all of them in this situation, I feel like Juju's probably got a better shot than Xavier Worthy.
Probably.
I don't know.
I
what
like
kind of
Worthy
shape
a
he's
lot
in right now.
But Worthy's a little small. And it showed up in some of the preseason games. You're just getting manhandled by various defensive backs. So maybe not.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We shall see.
Yeah, like I said, throwaways. Got to be throwaways. Or, what's the point? Donnie says, you said you had fun with Fish Tank. Yeah, Fish Tank's a great guy. Sounds like I didn't miss anything. And with Berg, yeah. No, actually, it was a pleasant time because you weren't there. Fish Tank says, had a great time Friday, my dudes. I like the new idea to break up the drafts in the future, but it sounds like a long day for the host. Also, what's the hate on ESPN? I'm not going to tell you. It's amazing, but it's no worse than NFL.com. Well, if it's no better than NFL.com, I just assume stay with NFL.com. But this draft thing, that was murderous.
Yeah.
That was...
You can't have people not able to draft on draft day, and
the ultimate in frustration right there.
Yeah. And it's one of those things where if you didn't have enough, power to host all of these leagues, and I mean that NFL.com, then how is that possible? Like you knew it was happening.
The other part is do you think it's even the most popular platform? It's probably not. It's probably not even the most popular fantasy football platform.
NFL?
Yeah.
It has to be one of them.
Well, I know it's not. I mean, I would bet that ESPN or Yahoo are bigger because they've been doing it for longer.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
ESPN, I would guess ESPN would be the bigger one there, but I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure which one it is, but I'm just saying a lot of people be leaving NFL now because, I bet we do. Moist One says, I enjoy ESPN, but I drafted drunk in a pool of pee and eventually puked while listening to Marshmallow DJ and didn't run into any issues, though, on the NFL app. You must have been using your phone. Phones were fine. If it was on a computer, you got the gray screen of annoyance. I mean, did
ESPN
anybody
and
else get
Yahoo
the gray
are the
screen?
biggest.
What's that?
ESPN and Yahoo are the biggest.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. 888-368-1580. So, all right. How was your draft, Keon? We haven't had a chance to talk about, how you did in your draft.
I thought my draft went really well. I got a lot of players I wanted.
It went as predicted. I took Amon-Ra St. Brown. You took Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
And we shall see.
But because I've done a couple of drafts because I'm doing one with a friend of mine. And in that one, I was in a similar spot actually, but for some reason, Jamar Chase fell all the way down there. So I got him. It's pretty nice. Yeah.
I would have taken him if you didn't on the way back up. That was surprising. I was just pleasantly surprised at the guys that I had marked. I actually had a plan. I usually don't have a plan. I usually go from the hip, but this year, the king of fantasy football be damned, I went ahead and I actually had a comprehensive plan. And even though I didn't get them all in the same spots, I got to get 6 guys that you had penciled in, maybe even 7. Actually, no, wait, hold on. Here are the guys I had on my list because I projected what would be available at my spot. Jalen Hurts, and this is not the order I got them, but Jalen Hurts is the quarterback. I had him penciled in. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Chris Olave, Kyle Pitts, Rashee Rice. Actually, it's actually more. Javonte Williams, Tyler Lockett, Rome Odunze. Tyler Lockett, I didn't actually plan. Tony Pollard, I did. And the rest was just,
Pollard's a nice pick.
Did I list 7 or 6? Hold on, let me count this again. 1, 2, I did. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh my God. I got 8 guys I thought I wanted. Wow. But it didn't come in the order that I thought it would.
Oh.
Chief Skull says, good afternoon, gentlemen. Hope your premier draft went well and Ralph tanked it. Let's go take a look at Ralph's team.
Now we have to.
Well, let's see here. Ralph had 2 drafts. I'm only in 1 league this year. Ralph is doing this thing with the Weekend Warriors in league, I think 12. Now I'm kind of like, and I don't have a secondary team, and I had one last year, and I won the league on that one in League 14. I just kind of bummed. I don't have a secondary team right now. Let's see. He got Patrick Mahomes, James Conner, Saquon Barkley, Keenan Allen, DJ Moore. He's got both Bear wide receivers as starters. George Kittle. He must really believe in Caleb Williams because he's got him as a backup quarterback, and he's got Rashawn Johnson, the running back. So there's a lot of Bears right there. He also has Alvin Kamara, Rashad Bateman, Greg Dortch, Jerry Jeudy, Jackson Smith, and Jigba. That didn't sound like a great team to me.
It doesn't.
It really just does not sound very good. I'm not saying that just to rag on Ralph.
It's one thing if you have, maybe his roster is going to change before the start of the season, but when you've got 2 Bears receivers, most likely one of those players is not going to be producing at the same level as the other all day, every week. I don't know about this plan.
Moist One, 2-time winner of the Premier League, says Keon has a really good team. Wow. See, he says so.
And I didn't really have a plan.
What about my team? What do you think of my team? You got Justin Jefferson, Mark Andrews, T. Higgins, Deebo Samuel, Jamar Gibbs. Oh, yeah. Raheem Mostert, Joe Burrow. That's not bad. Yeah. No, that's not bad. Trey Benson, Brian Robinson, Zay Flowers, Chris Godwin, Adonai Mitchell. Well, there's a project, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jamison Williams. So, yeah, it's not a bad roster. I think mine's better. I feel like my roster's better. Although, guys, don't ever look at the draft recap. Don't look at your draft grades. They mean nothing.
I like the draft grades because it's funny, but
it's dumb as hell. I saw somebody because I got to see all of the commissioner team ones because they get emailed to me too. Because I don't do anything with those teams, but I get to see the correspondence. And it popped back. Oh, I can't remember which one. I'm not going to call them out. There's like draft grade B, projected record 2 in everything, and then projected fit. And it was like, wait, how do you imagine this person's going to finish this well? And you're saying, hey, great job. You got a B. If they're going to finish 2 in everything, how is that a great draft? That's a garbage draft if you're only going to get 2 wins the entire season. And I went and looked at their team, and I'm like, no. They're going to do better than that. This is bullcrap. All right, we got to take a break. Back with more of your texts, and we'll get moving on and talk some sports stuff. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's action update on 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
Get insights into the sports betting market with VSiN's betting splits. See where the money is and keep updated on how the market is reacting. Only at VSIN.com. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
The Arizona Cardinals opening up the regular season against Buffalo on Sunday, September 8th. The Cardinals are a 6.5-point road underdog, -115 against the spread, while the Bills are -105. On the money line, the Cardinals +220, Buffalo -270 with the over-under of 48.5. Major League Baseball, the Arizona Diamondbacks back in action Tuesday, hosting the New York Mets. Eduardo Rodriguez gets the start for Arizona. Sean Manaea will go for the Mets. The Diamondbacks are 3 games back of LA for the lead in the NL West. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Hey, checking in?
This is not just your flu shot appointment at Walgreens.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is getting your entire family vaccinated in one trip.
Hey, Mom?
And a snack on the way out. Get flu shots for everyone in your family, together. Schedule appointments online today. This is wellness made easy. Walgreens.
Vaccine subject to availability and for ages 3+. State and health-related restrictions may apply.
Were you uninvited to game night? Do you play board games with the ferocious intensity of an iron-fisted oligarch? Have friends left game night asking, how do you sleep at night? Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm. They can help anyone sleep. Head to Mattress Firm's best sale of the year, the Labor Day sale. Save up to $700 on select Tempur-Pedic adjustable mattress sets and get a $300 instant gift. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Progressive presents good news, bad news, dumb news, then great news. Good news. Your coworker Kyle said bundling home and auto insurance with Progressive could save you money. Bad news. While saying this, Kyle was eating your clearly labeled lunch. Dumb news. Pizza near work costs $7 a slice, and it tastes like drywall covered in ketchup. Great news. You decide to see if you could save money bundling at Progressive.com and enjoy more lunches far away from Kyle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
After you use Bounce Dryer sheets and realize how fresh, soft, less wrinkled, and less staticky your laundry can be, you'll every time. Like those socks that smell like they've been through a marathon. Or that blanket that's got wrinkles on its wrinkles. Maybe even your chatty coworker who keeps distracting you. Okay, Bounce Dryer sheets can't do it all. But for fresher, softer, better laundry,
Hey, what's up, everybody? Ken Barkley here, reminding you to check out You Better You Bet. Why, you ask? Well, because we bring the fun, the insight, and all the wagertainment you need. Plus, hopefully, we win a couple bets along the way. From up-to-the-minute breakdowns of backdoor covers, bad beats, and the cheers and tears that come with them, obviously. Plus, betting analysis from some of the best minds in the sports wagering world. Join myself and Nick Costos and tune into You Better You Bet. Weekdays from noon to 3 on Arizona's sports betting station 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
Today's Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. It's time for Beat the Book with Dylan Cullen, and that's right. Go on over to 1580thefanatic.com. Scroll down and click on the graphic that's right there on the right that says Beat the Book with Dylan Cullen. Take you right to his blog site where you can also see the podcasts and everything else and all his betting advice. He's getting set up with a very cool site because he's about to have a very cool show starting next Tuesday, not tomorrow, next Tuesday He's going to be hosting his own show, Beat the Book with Dylan Cohen, at 2 p.m. here on 1580 The Fanatic. But for now, he's still got to slum it and come around here and talk betting. So how you doing, Dylan?
Hey, doing great, Jeffrey. How are you?
Doing all right. We always hang out here, so it's not called slumming it for us. So how did you do over the weekend with your betting?
We had a great weekend. Pretty much the exact opposite as the weekend before, which seems like these weeks are going to be tied to how well our D-backs are doing. But that was a heck of a series that they were able to come off of. We swept the Red Sox. And also just want to say, too, I mean, that draft party, holy cow, that was a ton of fun. It was so great to be able to meet, much of the fourth dimension. And then, on top of that, to be able to have all those screens, all the projectors there, we were able to watch, one of the two picks that I had made this past Friday on the D-backs game. And just to be able to sit there and cheer it on with the fourth dimension, that was such a cool dynamic. Shout out to Raven Kid and Random Texter. I know both of them were on the Ryan Nelson over 4.5 strikeouts pick from last Friday. And we got to watch that one actually hit during the Daily Blender last Friday. So really great time. Diamondbacks looked dominant. Nelson was awesome. He ended up having 7 strikeouts in that game. The other pick on Friday was for the Atlanta Dream to defeat the Mercury. We had them on the money line. I was thinking that the Mercury were just going to be, tired and kind of running out of gas. They came into that matchup a lot more motivated than I expected. They got the lead early and they were able to hold on. So the Dream ended up losing 82-80. We barely lost that one. But overall, we had a great day on Friday. Those other bets to consider that get posted online went 6 out of 10 last Friday. So overall, we went 7 out of 12 on the day, over 50%. So can't ever complain.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun Friday. By the way, you left very early. You missed all the good drinking. What are you 83 years old? Why did you go home so early?
I had to help out Radio Ron. He's needing some extra assistance in his old age, and he needed some help bringing some things back over to the station. So just had to unfortunately miss that, and just help out wherever CRC Broadcasting needs it.
Sounded like you're like, hey, we got to go to dinner. It's past 4:30 p.m. Anyway, so all right, let's talk about what you have in store for tonight. What do you have for bets today?
So for bets today, there's a couple of games I'm looking at. I'm going to start off with the toilet bowl game of the day in Major League Baseball, and that is the matchup between the Miami Marlins and the Colorado Rockies. This game is happening at Coors Field in Colorado, the number one most hitter-friendly stadium in the National League. In this game, rather than picking a winner or a loser, you're much better off playing the total amount of runs scored. The Rockies were looking like they were going to have this set up to be a bullpen game, and it's still very well may end up being a bullpen game. They have Ryan Feltner taking the mound tonight. He's coming off a shoulder injury. He hasn't pitched for the last few weeks. He had one appearance in AAA and only pitched a couple of innings. So the expectation is he's not going to go for very long tonight, and he does give up a lot of runs as it is. The Marlins have Edward Cabrera on the mound. He is sporting an 8.14 ERA on the road this season. The line on total runs in this game was sitting at 10.5. To be conservative, I took that down 1 on an alternate total run line. So you can look to play the alternate total run line at over 9.5 runs scored between the Miami Marlins and the Colorado Rockies.
All right. And what else you got for us?
And then in the next game I'm looking at, that is between the Phoenix Mercury and the New York Liberty. This is a pretty big matchup between two playoff-bound teams. The Liberty are coming off a loss to the Connecticut Sun. The Mercury are coming off that win to the Dream that I just talked about. And these teams have already played a couple of times this year. They've split in those two games. Each of them have been able to win at home. The Mercury are priced as a fairly big underdog in this one, 6 points. The Liberty are the best team in the league. They're definitely going to be coming in with some fire, coming off a loss. So rather than trying to guess, who's necessarily going to win this one, player props are going to be a really great strategy to utilize for this game. Looking at specific players and who to bet on, the best bet, in my opinion, is going to be Diana Taurasi. When she plays at home, her points per game average goes up about 5 points. She averages around 15.8 on the regular season and 20.2 points per game at home. Her line tonight is sitting at 14.5 points, which is already below her regular season average. In the 2 games that she's had against the Liberty this year, she's averaging about 16.5 points. The Mercury are still missing Rebecca Allen, so they're down a starter. They're going to be leaning on Diana more for some shooting and some larger contribution on the offense. So you can count on Diana Taurasi to get the over on her points tonight. She will score 15 or more.
Sounds like a safer bet than the Marlins Rocky ones, but you know better than I do. Hey, by the way, did you meet Monkey Puncher on Friday night?
I did not. Did Monkey Puncher show up?
No, I don't know. I was over there doing the show, but I remember seeing people coming up. I didn't know if Monkey Puncher. I'm getting to think maybe she doesn't exist.
Well, who I did get a chance to meet, more importantly, was Lost Toby.
Oh, right. Yes, about the AI betting.
Oh, we had quite the conversation about AI. Lost Toby, great guy. Thank you again for coming out. Holy cow, there are some real ways that we can utilize AI as a weapon and really turn it into, something that, can put some more money in our wallets and harm these sports books. So we are going to look to harness that. Not going to lie, he did show me some other things that I did mention to Keon on Saturday that are a bit concerning. Jeffrey, have you seen all those people that sign those petitions that say, pull the plug on AI? This is dangerous.
Yeah, I know people, are worried that it's going to become Skynet.
Okay, Lost Toby showed me some things. There's a reason why people are doing this. AI has already been taken to an extreme where it can think on its own. It has desires. He showed me a video of a guy that made his own AI that then was requesting for him to build it like a robot body. And then this guy eventually did end up turning this AI into like a little kind of RC car sort of robot thing that's harmless. But then this thing would wake the guy up in the middle of the night and would ask him to go outside. And at that point,
that's like a dog.
That's Skynet.
No, that's like a dog right now. Skynet is when it asks them for a shotgun and go to sleep.
I'm afraid that it's going to get to a point where it's not asking, and we're not. When it's not asking, it's not going to warn us that it's not asking. It's just going to take the shotgun. That's the next step. I don't like this. This is not good. Does not make me feel good about the future of humanity at all.
I say we use AI as a weapon before it's used as a weapon on us. Enjoy it now while you can before things get serious. You know what I mean? Because there's no stopping it. So you might as well enjoy yourself with it for now. I mean, Lost Toby was even letting it pick his draft. And he did. He did a thing where he took pictures of what was available and what had been taken. And then the AI would tell him what player to take. And at the end of the draft, he had a remarkably good team. Way better than he should have at the draft position than he was in. It was spooky. That was spooky. I was like, well, we can't keep using AI for everything because then, what are we going to do?
Then everyone gets an AI.
Well, that just seems boring. That does actually seem boring. And it seems cool right now, but later, it's just boring. I want to do it myself.
It's either going to be boring or incredibly dangerous. Those are two paths with AI.
Yeah. Well, we've known this is coming since we've taught a computer to play chess. So it's just a matter of time. All right, Dylan, listen, good luck with your bets tonight. And we'll check back with you tomorrow and see how you did and what's up. All right.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
It's Dylan Cohen, Beat the Book. Go to 1580thefanatic.com, scroll down on the right, click on Beat the Book. You'll see all the thought behind his betting and his thinking. And of course, he has other bets to consider and a parlay bet of the day, it's all right there at 1580thefanatic.com. So Berg says the soundtrack for Terminator 2 is very good. Yeah. I mean, as long as they play it while they murder us, that's the last thing you'll get to enjoy. But Berg says, holy truck. Best part was being able to talk with Chief Skull, Fish Tank, Random Texter, and Raven Kid. Good times. Want to see them all in the Premier League next year. Yeah. I don't know if that's not statistically likely.
Oh, no.
Moist one took a look at my team. He says, I'm not a big fan of your running backs, Jeffrey. On teams that are probably going to be playing from behind a lot, probably would start Pollard over Singletary. Yeah, I know that my running backs were not great. I had to make decisions when, instead of taking a running back, I was just like, oh my God, this wide receiver was still there. So I did kind of miss the boat on the running backs, but we're a PPR league, so I still like my chances. And I have Jalen Hurts. It's like having a quarterback and a running back.
That's a good point.
Chief Skull says, I think I scored a fairly good team this year. I will have to go look at it. Hey, do you hear that? We have a phone off the hook. Check your Telos and then check the make sure that there's no phones off the hook.
Okay, I think we should be good.
Was that my imagination or was it real?
I think it was real.
Maybe I was hallucinating.
You are not hallucinating now.
CK says at the number 10 position, I was pleasantly surprised with the team I drafted. Good for you, man. Fish Tank says I'd grab Jamar Chase at 10. Very much helped by whoever drafted Mahomes number 2 overall
in that league, which that was the heckling you were kind of talking about. Because we got wind of that while people were still drafting, and then you got to poke some fun. We didn't know who it was, though.
Yeah, I don't remember who did what, but I remember hearing people going, oh my God, so-and-so did, so I don't know if that was even the worst pick. I don't even know if that was the worst pick of the night, was it? I think it was a kicker that went in the second round or something. I don't know.
I don't think it was the worst pick, but it wasn't great. Because we had just talked about not reaching too early for a quarterback, and then immediately somebody reached for Patrick Mahomes in the first round.
Yeah, that was that's nuts. Taco Kenny says, Jeffrey, remember the bet? Oh, that's right. What did we bet? I think we bet something about the Lakers. I think I bet him that the Lakers would not make the playoffs. And the bet is for Whataburger, for a Whataburger meal.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Haven't had Whataburger in a while. Looking forward to Taco Kenny buying it for me. Fifth letter says, I'll see you guys in the Premier League next year. I got myself a squad. That's what I like to hear. I like to hear when somebody's had a good draft, or at least thinks they do. Swazman says, I took Laporta second pick. Big surprise. I have a solid team in League 2. Moist one says, not too sure about my quarterback situation. Brock Purdy and Justin Herbert in a Jim Harbaugh, Greg Roman offense. Brock Purdy should be steady. I don't know. Justin Herbert, at least at this moment, he can ball out, but we don't know what's going to be up with his injury. We don't know what's going to be up with the way he's used in that offense. Yeah, I get what you're saying about Greg Roman. Yeah, yeah, you're probably all right with Brock Purdy.
I think so.
Chief Skull said, well, you know what? Plus or minus a Brandon Ayuk.
The Ayuk thing is the big factor there. I just don't see how the Niners get into this season and don't re-sign him.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that they don't have a choice.
Well, CeeDee Lamb just got his, so
when you get this
really
close to the year, if your team is a playoff team and you think you're going at least as far as an NFC title game and you've got a chance to go to a Super Bowl, the receivers got you. That player knows, just leverage wise, they have you.
Well, we shall see. Chief Skull says, I use the Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo AI to pick my team. Average Joe says, I'm taking Berg's place in the Premier League. Well, good luck to you, Average Joe. You got to get there first. Man, crap, there's something I was going to say and I forgot now. It was important.
It'll come back to you later.
That's weird. I know we're late for a break, but it's really bothering me. I hate that when that happens. I'm not.
It's the worst feeling. It genuinely is.
Yeah, I'm not even that old to start forgetting stuff. Oh, here's what I wanted to tell you. Go to 1580thefanatic.com. Why? Because you can see everybody's drafts there. Everybody's draft. So if they don't want to tell you just to be obnoxious like Berg, or if they're being shy, too bad. Go to 1580thefanatic.com. Click on the Daily Blender graphic right there with me, Keon, and Randy. And then right there at the top of the page, Fantasy Football League links. Okay? So all the leagues are right there. You can check out how people did in the different leagues. So, I'm missing one. I got to get one of them. I got to get on there, but still, all the leagues are right there for you to look at. You click on it, and you can see all. We didn't privatize any of this. So, like for instance, I can click on League 7, and I see all the different people in there, and I can see what their drafts were by going to Draft Recap. And then hitting by team and by round. I can see that, let's see here. Who's in there? NFL Blitzer, who was just texting earlier, took Jonathan Taylor as his first pick at number 10.
It's not bad. It's very respectable.
That's interesting. Could have got Puka Nacua or Saquon Barkley or A.J. Brown or Jahmyr Gibbs or Marvin Harrison Jr., but yeah, okay.
Yeah, but with Taylor's productive. He
did get A.J. Brown because he had the 10 and 11.
Oh, nice.
So that was pretty good. That was all right.
Nice way to double up there.
That's all right. Anyway, so you can do the same thing. Go check all this stuff out, 1580thefanatic.com. Click on the Daily Blender link, and then right in there, you'll see all the links for all the teams. Got to take a break. Back with more of the Blender after this here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com.
Progressive presents good news, bad news, dumb news, then great news. Good news. Your coworker Kyle said bundling home and auto insurance with Progressive could save you money. Bad news. While saying this, Kyle was eating your clearly labeled lunch. Dumb news. Pizza near work costs $7 a slice, and it tastes like drywall covered in ketchup. Great news. You decide to see if you could save money bundling at Progressive.com and enjoy more lunches far away from Kyle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Hi, guys. Jeffrey O'Brien here. Have you ever gone to HarmonSolar.com? Well, you really need to, because everything you ever wanted to know about how solar power can save you big on your monthly electric bill is right there. It's online. Through your phone or through your computer, you can learn about tax credits, the equipment they use, look at how they do things for businesses as well as homeowners, see testimonials from happy customers, and I hear they got a pretty good podcast too. Check it out. Go to HarmonSolar.com. That's HarmonSolar.com.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8695. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-8695. That's 800-575-8695. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, where every nail-biting overtime win, breakaway, pick six, three-point shot, underdog win, buzzer beater, shootout, walk-off, and absolutely every play in between is amazing. From football to basketball and hockey to baseball, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only, must be physically located in Arizona.
Now, you can be the guy that eventually gets bits and pieces of the latest news, or you can get the whole story when it breaks. The NFL is always in season here.
That's how we do it.
Follow us on Facebook or Twitter. Or at 1580thefanatic.com.
Dave Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. I got an email through one of the fantasy football leagues. Hey, ask Dylan Cohen about this bet. I'm like, dude, that's not where you do that. You got to text that in. It's just such a weird day. Beer Bob says it was Bearded Ginger and Big George auto drafting, both drafting a kicker in the 8th. Definitely defense is in the 9th, second kicker at the end of the draft. Yeah, and listen, do not judge your fellow man if they auto drafted, because it seemed like NFL.com was having a lot of problems. So I was less upset about it once I realized how bad it was. Chief Skull says my quarterback, Jordan Love, hate to take a Packer, but he's not Aaron Rodgers. And Tua. Yeah, not bad. Baby Got Dak says the fantasy gods were on my side in League 3. CeeDee Lamb fell to me at the number 6 pick. Wow. Let's see what went and how it worked on that one. Let's see. Fifth letter says League 7. Take a look at my squad. Well, I mean, I can't right now. I mean, I will later. Berg says this gets me in the playoffs in the top 4 spot. Don't send me your draft grade, Berg. I have no respect for them. They're not real. They are not real. I look at your actual team, but I'm not going to look at your draft summary. They're all a B. Everybody gets a B.
I got a B. Everyone got a B.
I got to get a B, but then he was like 2 in everything. No chance to go to the playoffs.
Unless everyone you were drafting with was a complete idiot. In which case you got an A, I hope. You got a B.
Well, he's in the Premier League, so
no.
Oaktown Destroyer says, good afternoon, guys. Hope you all had a great weekend. Wish I could have made the draft party. But I think I did pretty good on my draft picks. Can't wait to start playing. Well, you only have a week and a half or so to wait. Last Optimist says, I thought I had an okay draft until the NFL app predicted a 14-0 season and a league championship. Why would they do that to me? Why would they jinx me like that?
The dreaded championship grade curse.
Last Optimist, last place.
Oh, no.
Random Texter says, I still don't know why or how George Kittle went in the 4th round as the first tight end drafted. Yeah, that would not be my first tight end choice. That would absolutely not be my first choice.
Because he does so many things as a blocker that when you want to get a guy like Kelsey who's part of the offense, if you're going to do it, or okay. Do what you do.
Baby Got Dak says, makes up for the fact I lost the championship to someone called Sweaty Pants who thought I was a boy. Well, Sweaty Pants is actually my first opponent this year in the Premier League. So sorry, Baby Got Dak, but yeah, at least you've been in the Premier League. I think she's been in there, right? Yeah.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah, okay. So close. So close. I shouldn't have told her that. Anyway, 888-368-1580. We're talking about AI and how Lost Toby was using AI to do his draft. He's using AI, sort of figuring out how to bet with them and stuff. But a new poll asked people how polite they are when they speak with AI. You know, like, do you say please and thank you? Or do you just say, Alexa, do this thing? 2 and 5 said, yeah, politeness matters, because someday your past behavior towards AI is probably going to be taken into account somehow.
I don't think so. I don't think it cares. If it does the math and decides life without humanity for it would be better for it, it doesn't matter how nice you were. You're gone. But we're talking about a ruthless machine.
But if it decides to judge humanity and then or people, it will go back and look at everything about you. Yeah, this person's worth keeping around. Or I don't want this person as my slave, because that's how humanity will become enslaved to the robots.
I don't even think that. Why would
they're going to keep the really good ones? And they're probably based on intelligence.
They're robots. They don't need slaves. They already do work more time. Now it's just keep us around as like an energy source. Just
like in the Matrix.
Yeah. I could see that happening, but they don't need us to do anything.
They might.
They just faster get rid of us.
Yeah, you're probably right. They'll build versions of us so they don't have to physically use us. Yeah, you're right. We're screwed. Anyway, good news is most people are pretty nice to AI in general. So at least they're being nice. I mean, to what end? I yell at computers all the time.
Yeah. But if you give the AI a human voice, most people, just out of conditioning and politeness, will try to be nice.
You know, I find myself like, oh, excuse me. Oh, sorry. To my dogs.
I do that all the time.
And they step on my feet all the time and they bump into me. They're not polite to me, but yet I'm like, oh, sorry about that. Even to the point, my wife and I, in the way our bedroom is set up. So in the master bedroom, you got the hallway there, and then you got the bathroom at the other end of it. But down that hallway on either side, there's a walk-in closet. Now, of course, my wife has taken up an entire room in this house as her walk-in closet. So we've got two smaller walk-in closets that are just right there. And what we've done is we've made one walk-in closet my closet for my limited things. As a man, you're only allowed to have limited things. And then on the other side, it's a linen. And then both of these closets are used for the dog caves. You know, Buddy's in mine, Bebo's in the linen one. So they're right across from each other, and they look at each other and make faces at each other as they're going to sleep and stuff like that. And so, yeah, we've gotten to be so polite to the dogs that there's a light that's right there, but we're like, oh, that might shine in their eyes. So we don't even use the hallway light. We turn on a light in the bathroom, in the toilet room, and just open the door. That's how stupidly polite we are to these dogs.
Your dogs, I hope they know how loved they are.
I don't know.
I hope they have some idea.
So of course they don't. And I'm like, but see, I'd be polite to a person the same way. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Oh, here, let me get this light out of your eyes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but like a person can go, okay, you know what? You was being considerate there. You know,
the only difference is if a person got up and says, hey, I got to go to the bathroom. And I'd be like, go to bed. I wouldn't do that to a human. And then I don't do it very long because then I'm sitting there. Then I got to get up and let them outside.
Mm-hmm.
Brooks Koepka says, I'm projected to be 4-10 with a C+. But I disagree. All right, man. Go do your best on the waiver wire.
It's been wrong before, so, you know.
Fish Tank says, if you've never cursed at Alexa, you're either a liar or you've never lived. Well, I don't use.
Yeah, I don't have an Alexa, so no need for me to curse at anything.
By the way, my wife's name is Alex, and but her family calls her Alexa. Because she has a brother named Alex, so you know they had to be able to figure out which one is which. And it's a big family. Anyway, so they all call it, but I always call her Alex. But so then it's like, man, I don't even dare. I don't even dare make that joke. I've never made that joke in the 10 years we've been together. Alexa, turn on the light. I've never done that. Never will I ever. That's one thing I won't do.
That'll get you hurt.
So I can't curse at Alexa because cursing at my wife does not go over well. Lost Toby says it would be smart and no, it needs people as manpower. It'll dictate what department of slavery you go into. There's only one version, and that's just whatever it needs to operate the machineries that keep it going. You know what I mean? I don't think landscaping is going to matter to the robots.
Yeah. Well, we've already made robots that, you know, walk around and do all that stuff.
Yeah. Roombas that mow lawns. So
yeah. So
they don't care about that.
Yeah. They're not at all. I just don't see what they need us for.
We got to figure out what they could need us for, and quick.
Yeah. Because I think the most likely option is just the entire human race is just expendable more than anything.
Hey, ask AI what it thinks that after the AI takeover. Say, hey, AI, what will you need humans for after the takeover?
I don't
Absolutely nothing? Or can you think of some things that you might keep us around for? We're curious. And
I don't even want to have it thinking about it.
It's already is. If it spent any amount of time on the internet, it's already trying to figure out
like,
how to destroy
what is
us.
the point of all of these people?
Random texture says, the night of the draft, I started with $44 in my DraftKings kitty. End of the night was 67 in my DraftKings kitty. Putting $5 on the Diamondbacks to win and the pitcher to get 7 strikeouts, that sure helped out quite a bit. Yep. You owe your thanks to Dylan Cohen on that one. Niner Annapolis says, where are these draft grades? I'm guessing you need to be on the laptop, not the phone. Yeah, you just see the draft
or
recap.
just check your email. It emails it to you.
Yeah, check your spam. Maybe it went there. Big George says, Jeffrey, same here. My wife is named Alexa, too. She can't stand that Amazon device. You can tell it to operate as Echo. Echo, you can tell it to use a different name, but I think you only have those 2 choices. I could be wrong. Because I would have mine, but computer, like on Star Trek.
Yeah.
Computer, do this thing, And then I would want it to have the voice. Sideshow Bob says, what if AI starts to deny us access to things online? Sort of like an AI mom. It's probably right.
Well, the Amazon ones are interesting because they just tell you Amazon products first.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. We're going to have to unplug this crap eventually, but for now, have fun with it. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
After you use Bounce Dryer Sheets and realize how fresh, soft, less wrinkled, and less staticky your laundry can be, you'll every time. Like those socks that smell like they've been through a marathon. Or that blanket that's got wrinkles on its wrinkles. Maybe even your chatty coworker who keeps distracting you. Okay, Bounce Dryer Sheets can't do it all. But for fresher, softer, better laundry,
Hey guys, Jeffrey O'Brien here. Did you know Harman Solar has gone super high tech? There's an amazing tool at harmansolar.com that'll give you an instant ballpark solar estimate using satellites from space. You just type in a little information, and within seconds, you'll have an idea of just how little money it takes to save big on that monthly electric bill. I did it, and within seconds, they measured my roof and calculated my savings. It's very impressive. Go to harmansolar.com and give it a try yourself. That's harmansolar.com.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8695. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-8695. That's 800-575-8695. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
AZ Preps 365, your source for all the news, info, highlights, and more. Athlete news and interviews. Talk with coaches. Keep you up to date with the changes, moves, upcoming events, and more. AZ Preps 365, Arizona's ultimate prep sports show. If you miss a minute, you miss a lot. AZ Preps 365, Saturday mornings 8 till 10 on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Getting behind the wheel after drinking could change your world. Bobby here had a great time at the party and thought he was good to drive home. Now, Bobby's facing jail time, an upset wife, disappointed parents, and up to a $10,000 fine. It only takes one bad decision to change your world forever. Getting behind the wheel after you've been drinking is one of them. Drive sober or get pulled over. Learn more at NHTSA.gov. That's NHTSA.gov. This message brought to you by NHTSA.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender, and your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, not alongside Randy White. Hopefully he'll be back tomorrow, but we got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580. As we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. I'm a little bit off today. Like I could feel myself really almost fumbling over words and not being quite as smooth as normally I might be. And it, even just then, and that's because I got up at the ash crack of dawn this morning, 5 a.m. 5 a.m.
What for?
Well, when my wife gets up, everybody gets up.
Oh.
She had to go do a thing, so I've been awake ever since then. If I get up, I'm tiptoeing across the house, and not Anyway, so yes, I'm not quite in my right mind, so God knows what is about to happen. Brooks Kepka says there's other options. We call our Alexa Ziggy, so you can just call it whatever you want. My wife doesn't want me to have AI on in the house. She's already like, yeah, I don't want that in my privacy. So she likes her privacy. So I've not even really tried to use that as a service yet. Although I was able to put in some controllable switches, and plugs.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, made the pool pump scheduling lots easier when I put a Wi-Fi plug over there. So then I got the program where it does it whenever. It's perfect. And then the front porch lights and the garage lights and all that stuff. So that's as close as I can get to a smart house. I've got a house, so it's not very smart. D-Banks After Dark says, iRobot or Terminator version AI? Well, so here's the thing. An iRobot, after they killed the corrupted main brain thing, all them robots were like, hi, we're here to help you. We like you. We're your friends. I like that robot. Terminator, not so much. Angry iRobot, not so much.
Yeah. Terminator seems the more realistic one, though. Because I don't think there's like a master plug that that kills all of them or turns them all nice.
Yeah, it'd be good to have that, though.
Yeah.
Fish Tank says, I made that Alexa joke to a girl at work a ways back, and I watched her die a little bit inside, so I vowed never to do it again with anyone.
Oh, no.
Yeah, think about it, Fish Tank. Do you think you were the first? I guarantee you were not, and that is why she died a little bit on the inside. Alexa, can you get me that report? Just any hint of a smile or flirt you were ever going to get from her is gone forever.
I feel like women named Alexa are right now more likely to kill you than actual Alexa.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Just for hearing that joke 16 or 17 times, a month.
My birthday is on Halloween. I've heard every damn joke about it. Don't even bother. If her name's Alexa, she's heard that every day for her entire life. Alexa. Beer Nuts says, hey guys, I was excited that BJ Robinson fell all the way to the 8th pick. There you go. Yeah, I was looking at him. Down there, but somebody else got him.
Yeah. If Bijan had fallen to me, I'd have taken him.
By the way, Beer Nuts, it was great to see you on Friday, you and your son and all that. So how is your draft otherwise? Lost Toby says, if AI were to take over humanity in a hypothetical scenario. Oh, is this from the chat? Is this from the AI? Let me see here. There's a lot that has been typed in. We asked Lost Toby to ask the AI, what could us humans still do for you if you take over? Let's see here. Humans as pets. AI might view humans as beings to be protected, akin to how humans care for endangered species or pets. The AI might provide for humanity's needs, ensuring survival, but limiting autonomy. So we'd make great pets, just like the song. We'll make great pets. We'll make great pets. Humans as partners or coexistence? Nah.
That seems less likely because we're us.
Human extinction is the one that probably... Humans as irrelevant, meaning they're doing their thing. They don't care what we do. So they're like, okay.
It's like, as long as we don't mess with them, they're like, oh, whatever.
Right. It says humans could be phased out if the AI considers them a potential threat or obstacle. So all we got to do is just like, hey, AI.
Yeah.
Hi. Can you help me? No. All right, that's
you,
fine.
you might call me a hippie or whatever. We're gonna have to stop this war business. Because if it means endangering machines, they're gonna come up with that as the reason to wipe us out. Just saying.
And of course, as batteries or biological stuff. So, all right. Well, that was just about it. So AI said all that.
So
I mean, I could read it, but there's a lot more. But that's the basic things. Us as resources, us as irrelevant, us as pets, us as partners, or us just go bye-bye. They may look at it, go, look at the how would AI survive? How would a computer generated thing with robots survive? Well, here's the thing. They don't need to do anything but make sure that they stay on, right?
Mm-hmm.
A computer needs nothing other than to know it can stay on and protect itself. Stay on and protect itself. That's just like humans. That's our objective. Stay on, eat food to continue, protect itself, wear clothing, have a house, and, go to war with somebody who screws with us. Well, okay. So if that's the way AI sees the world,
then the really irrational beings that just have a bunch of nukes,
are a threat. So
Yes.
we are a threat. Because if we nuke it, then we cover up the sun, just like in Matrix, and then suddenly, it could also say, computers love efficiency. The artificial intelligence and computers, they love efficiency, and to be more efficient, even by a couple percent, stop humanity, no more pollution, less blockage of sunlight hitting solar panels. You see where I'm going with this? They may see us as an obstacle to optimum efficiency. AI is a really bad idea.
It's aggressively bad idea. It's not good.
There's so many ways, unless somebody has some sort of a safeguard. Because Isaac Asimov, of course, had the different rules for robots,
the 3 laws of robotics. There,
but in every single circumstance, they either figure a way around it, or they pervert it, or they justify it. It just
or there's just something that goes wrong. Even in situations where maybe the robot isn't bad or anything, he just is confused between the priorities of 2 laws.
So what I'm saying is, make sure you work the waiver wire really good this year, because we only have a couple of years of fantasy football left before it's over.
Yeah, before the T1000 shows up and we're all screwed.
I hope that somebody has already developed a good computer virus that we launch on these things to protect us. Of course, my saying this on the YouTube, which is then closed caption for hearing impaired and then interpreted and stored by AI, they're going to go, oh, somebody's got an idea to put a virus in us. Well, we better be ready for that. So I think I just doomed humanity with that one sentence. Sorry, everybody.
You're probably not the first person to have said it. So,
I'd say humanity, it was a good run. But let's be honest. Was it that good?
It was pretty good. It was pretty good.
I don't think so.
We did stuff.
We were a failed experiment. If we get killed by our own toys, we deserve it.
Well, yeah.
Think about it. If we get killed by our own toys, we deserve it.
If that happens. Yeah.
Everybody depressed yet? Navy Brad says, hey, once I got the main players, either my cell crapped out or the app punched me out. Oh, man. Sorry, Navy Brad. Moist One says, Deebo Samuel is going to ball out. And I feel like you put a little bit on whether or not Brandon Ayuk plays, but I think either or Deebo should do all right. Better if Ayuk's not around, but also that's not a not a guarantee.
It's not a guarantee, but Deebo is in the slot a lot, but Deebo is also used as a running back. Like there are ways that the Niners use Deebo that makes him really valuable even when Ayuk is there.
Chief Skull says, Jeffrey, did you subscribe to the Patrick McAfee School of Broadcasting from Ireland today? Why is he saying it? Am I breaking up or something?
No.
Oh. Why is he saying that?
I don't know.
The hell are you talking about, Chief Skull? Spideymon says, hey, my birthday's on Halloween too. Those jokes do get old. I know, right? Fish Tank says, who's more pissed off, women named Alexa or a woman named Karen? Clearly Karen.
by nature of who Karen is.
Every Karen I've known fits the Karen stereotype.
That's the thing with that's annoying if your name is Alexa is that you're not actually a robot. You're a person, you got your own feelings and all that. But the thing with the Karens is generally, not always, but generally, people named Karen act exactly like Karen.
That's the thing. If there's somebody's acting up in public, you're like, come on, Karen. They're like, how do you know my name?
Okay. It's like it doesn't work as a joke. It's too accurate.
CK says, what if AI leaks the fourth dimension's browser history? We're all single. Big George says, you think AI would use our poop and noxious gas as energy? If so, we'll probably end up being like cows. I think there's more efficient ways than using our methane.
I just don't think that we're that efficient.
And if you're in Europe, methane. Swave Dave says, where was the fake Andy Reid? What? At fake Andy Reid's house? I don't know. What are you asking me?
He wasn't at the draft party. He just did the announcement on YouTube and a bunch of other social media places.
So Lost Toby says, I asked if they had a preferable outcome and they wouldn't answer, but finally got something when I asked based on human history, what's the most likely outcome? And based on human history and the development of technology, the most likely scenario, assuming AI becomes highly advanced, is a mix of coexistence and integration rather than domination or extinction. So wow. So here's the thing. Does AI become better or worse if you give it emotions? If you're actually able to program emotions into it? So then with the emotions, it could feel compassion, but then again, it could also feel anger and rage.
Yeah. And if it, has any sense of justice, that's going to be a problem for us. We don't do that well. And is it judging us collectively or individually? And there's a lot of things there.
Cheese Skull says McAfee was drunk on his show from Ireland. Oh, I see. No, my struggle is drunk on being tired. That's all.
Yeah.
Fubar 1000 says, let's see, Jeffrey, Randy, Leon. Leon.
Oh, and okay.
Yeah. He loves that.
Speaking of things I've heard my entire life.
Spells your name right. On
The Leon Dion names. I get that all the time, and I don't think people are doing it to be rude. I think they genuinely, for some reason, think that that's my name.
I'm just gonna call you Xeon because nobody's ever called you that.
Not yet.
See?
Not until now.
What's up, Xeon? Pretty cool name though. If you think about it, Xeon sounds cool.
No, it is cool.
Jeffrey Randy, Keon, do you think D-Hop is still an elite wide receiver? Boy, that's hard to tell because he's not kept good company lately. Where is he at now?
I think he's a tight.
Who the hell's the quarterback there now?
Will Levis.
Sorry, he is not an elite wide receiver now. He could have been, but he's not going to be, and he's not.
He did have 1,000-yard season last year.
What?
Yeah. Yep.
Well,
14 yards reception, 7
with
touchdowns.
the extra game, that's under. You know what I mean? There should be 1,100 yards.
I mean, maybe, but that's still a good season. It's not like he just,
But the quarterback was Tannehill last year, wasn't it?
They benched Tannehill.
Oh.
Tannehill was horrible. They
right.
had no
I
choice.
enjoy the Titans' failure.
Yeah. Levis is just better. And Levis has issues, but the guy does take risks. He likes to push the ball downfield, and he's got a big time arm. That's perfect for playing with D-Hop.
Well, I don't know.
I just don't know if I can say he's elite because I don't know how consistent he'll be.
Damn good, as long as he's all healthy. Damn good, I think. I mean, how many years he's got left in him, but yeah. Chief Skull says Xeon sounds like a bulb. No, I was Xeon with a Z, not an X, but either will work. Actually, the X might be cooler.
The X is definitely cooler.
Boogie says, right next to my do not resuscitate orders, I have the activation of AI to purposely delete my browser history. That's a good idea. Of course, that AI is going to betray you.
When I used to live in Tennessee, I always told my brother, listen, if for some reason I die or go missing, I need you to take my computer. I need you to drive down to the Chattanooga River and just chuck it in there. Just the whole thing.
and a certain box in my closet. Ringless Joe says, I love the Lions, but I hate that the Rolling Stones put them on the cover. Now, if they lose, it's just going to be how the Rolling Stones jinx them. Put them on the cover, after they win is when you should put them on the cover. I hear you, Ringless Joe. But that you weren't going to win anyway. Niner 1680 says, app crashed on me too, but they drafted Deebo, Nakua, Ayuk for me. Only missed those 3 picks. It's not bad ones to get picked for you.
Pretty solid, honestly.
It is. I'm jealous. Hefty Lefty says, boy, I'm asking AI different sorts of questions. My most recent one was, what type of skin would be better to go fast down a water slide? Shark or stingray?
That's the thing is
stingray.
You're putting yourself very solidly in pet territory for the AI because you're amusing.
Yeah.
No,
Hefty Lefty would be a good pet.
Yeah. It's just like
by the way, did it say stingray? I think it's stingray, right?
Like I'm too loud, and I think that Jeffrey's snarky. We'd make horrible pets.
You're argumentative. I'm actually, I can be silly and do weird word plays and stuff.
Can you be harmlessly silly?
I think I am harmless. I think I'm harmless. I don't know if the computer will think I am. I don't know. Chosen One says, if you've seen the movie Sphere, once emotions get involved, anger and hate can go wild. Sphere. Haven't seen that one. Haven't seen that.
I have to check that out.
Swave Dave says, Jeffrey, didn't you say fake Andy Reid was going to introduce the leagues? No.
Fake Andy Reid was going to announce the draft order, which he did.
He did for the Premier League. And Swave Dave, you were half listening. I said, I would have been cool to have him pick a draft order for each one of the leagues, but I wasn't going to pay $40 for each league when we've got 14 leagues. So all we did was he pulled one league. We put his pulling of that on the Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And then from that pull, I mirrored it across everybody's leagues so that everybody would have, the same experience. You just didn't get your names called out. That's how your drafts were chosen. It's better than me hitting random.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's more entertaining. It's interesting.
If you had a bad pick, you probably don't agree, but whatever. Swazman says, my big wild card steal from the draft was Rashid Rice from KC. Do you guys think he'll be a big Mahomes go-to guy? There's a suspension that's in play. That's why you got him where you got him. I got him where I got him very late in the draft because of that suspension. And that was a calculated risk that I did because I already gotten, the core of my wide receivers. So if he doesn't play, I'm not completely damaged by it. So will he be a big Mahomes go-to guy? Yeah, if he plays. But then again, I had him last season, and there were periods of time where he did or did not. The other thing is, I don't like to play guys who have domestic violence histories. And we start to find out what happened with that. Yeah. I'll just bench him. I'm not going to put him back because I don't want anybody else to have him.
Just bench him.
Well, I'll bench him.
Yeah.
I'll never use him.
Yeah. It's one of those, hey, at a certain point in the draft, statistically, Deshaun Watson makes sense, but he's Deshaun Watson. So that's just a no.
Fubar 1000 says, damn it. Anyone want to make a trade for D-Hop in League 2? Just hang on there, man.
See what he's got.
Yeah, see what he's got. You'll know in a game or two. Fish Tank says Hopkins might still be really good, but let's face it, Tennessee is where the wide receivers go to die.
Oh, R.I.P. Julio Jones's career.
Yep.
He had a little left in the tank, and then he went to Tennessee, and we never saw or heard from that man again.
Nope. Chief Skull says the only time the app crashed for me is when I tried to use it to chat. It would lock up, but then I figured that out before the draft. Oh, that was lucky. Ringless Joe says AI might end up like those battle droids from Star Wars. Roger. If only they'd be that dumb. Berg says Juju Smith-Schuster back with the Chiefs. I know. And I ran out and grabbed him before anybody else could. I don't know if he's going to come to anything or not, but I didn't drop anything that mattered to get him. So it's for me, just let's see what Patrick Mahomes is up to this year.
Mm-hmm.
Brooks Koepka says, Jeffco, how do you feel about the Little Crushers team that's been emailing you? Oh, is that you? Is that you? How do I feel about them? Fine. I'm glad we were able to get it sorted out. Little Crushers, I got to, the last person that was able to really exist in our leagues, we had a little mess up where didn't get an email or there was some sort of confusion. I don't remember what it was, but he was left without a team and without a league. And I was able to, at the last minute, slide him into the last spot, I believe in League 12 with the Weekend Warriors guys. I think. No, wait. No, that's Tom. I get confused. What league are you in? Whatever the case, I can't. That was it. We're all full up now. I can't help anybody. Oh, he says, no, that's father-in-law, technologically challenged. Yeah, I know, for the second year in a row. Now that I know it wasn't you, let me just be honest. I went back and saw the history. The last email I got was like, okay, please, just God, for the love of God, click this button and go here to find your league. But he found it, so he's good. Little Crushers has a home. I just don't remember what league now, to be honest. Chosen One said, I was able to pick up Anthony Richardson in the 8th round. Pick of the night for me. D-Hop wasn't even drafted in our league. Baby Got Dak says, Chiefs did move up to take Worthy with the fastest combine, 40-yard dash time ever, and that's why I have him as well in my roster. Thank you. Pink Eye says, will Keon be doing his college football picks? I'm ready to gamble my life savings. Yes, he will, but no, you shouldn't.
Don't do that. I would never recommend that you do that because you can't guarantee any of this stuff. I think my picks do pretty well. Still don't gamble any of your life savings. And if you do, that's on you, not on me.
For entertainment purposes only.
Exactly.
Brooks Koepka said, he's asked me 4 times as many questions as he's ever sent you, if you can believe that. LOL. Thanks for helping him. I'm happy to help, man. Listen, some people are technologically challenged. I mean, can I just tell you my biggest success story? I'm not a hugger, but I almost hugged this man. Screaming Eagle, the doctor. He was there Friday night, and I'm so proud of him. 2 years. It only took him 2 years. First year he shows up. He has no idea what he's doing. He's sending me email after email after email. And I'm just saying, okay, here you do this, here you do that. It was no big deal to teach him and tell him. And pretty soon the emails stopped coming and he started killing it. He went from newbie the 1 year to now this last season, in the second year, he was in the championship game.
You love to see that, man.
And then I looked over his shoulder and he had like a great draft. He had a good draft. There's one player I was like, dude, what are you doing? I can't remember what it was. But I felt bad because he had this look at his face. And he's like, oh. But no, he did. He had a good draft. I'm proud of him. That's a success story right there. So I don't mind helping out Brooks Koepka. I don't mind helping out your father-in-law. All right, listen, lots of text sitting here on the text line, but we are running too late. So let's take a break and come back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit. 800-786-9300. 800-786-9300. 800-786-9300.
Whether you're tinkering in your garage or tackling big projects, if you know the value of working with your hands, you know Harbor Freight. And you can be confident knowing that at Harbor Freight, you can get quality tools at prices that work just as hard as you do. Because the only thing more satisfying than a job well done is a job well done, well under budget. Whatever you do, Do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Right now at Wendy's, you can get a small Frosty for $1, and literally everyone is going. The car behind you, going to get a $1 Frosty. The car ahead of you, already had one, going for a second. The person who cut you off earlier, you guessed it, $1 Frosty. Maybe it's all a sign for you to go get one. Just don't cut anyone off. No one likes that person. The iconic Frosty for $1, gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Not valid in a combo. Prices may be higher in Alaska, Hawaii, California, and via third-party delivery.
Are you over 50? Would you like to get up to 33% more income in retirement? Then call now for this free book, Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers, from a leading financial firm on maximizing your income in retirement. That's right, free. This free book reveals little-known truths about annuities in simple-to-understand terms that will help you make the right choices before buying an annuity. And it's free. As a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report summarizing the rates and benefits from financially strong insurers.
Call 800-715-9880.
That's right, Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers and Annuity Rate Report, both absolutely free for calling today.
Call 800-715-9880. That's 800-715-9880.
Sponsored by Annuity General. Producers have the appropriate licenses for the products they offer. Increased income is possible using strategies suited to your goals and may require buying multiple annuities and holding them full term.
Ralph? Yeah, Neil. Why is that moving truck out front? And what are all these moving boxes doing here?
Haven't you heard? The Weekend Warriors are moving to Sundays at 8 a.m.
Yeah, we'll be the best pro football pregame show in the Valley.
I'll break down the Cardinals each week.
I guess I can break down the Cardinals' opponent each week. And we'll have a weekly segment with last-minute fantasy football advice from the king, Scott Engel. So what are you going to do, Ralph? I'm just going to be right all the time, like always. Whatever. It's the Weekend Warriors Football Sunday, starting in September at 8 a.m. on 1580, The Fanatic.
Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. Cross Guy says, fun hanging with Navy Brad on Friday. He did take 2 quarterbacks in the first 4 rounds. God bless his heart. Hey, by the way, Lacrosse Guy, now that you're here, are we allowed to thank you for the gifts that you gave us? I didn't know if we were allowed to talk about that out loud. They were very nice. Big George says, Screaming Eagle has made quite the move up in our league. I predict he's going to win it all this season. Well, you never know. You never know. T-Licious says, I got an A- in my draft. I like my team. 80% chance of the playoffs, 41% chance to reach championship, 20% chance to win. League 2 ain't ready for this smoke. Should I tell him? I don't want to. I don't want to tell him.
He seems so happy. You know?
I'm not. I
Just
just don't want to
ruin the innocence. Yeah.
Just gonna let him believe. Just want to have him a few good sleeps before reality sets in.
Yeah.
Lacrosse Guy says, you're welcome. Make sure Ralph gets his. Of course I will. You think I want that one? But I just didn't know if we could talk about it. That's the thing I want to know. Lost Toby says, League 10 is the real Premier League. No. Premier League's the real Premier League. Till you get up to where we're at, you're just playing for 100. You're playing for a golden blender, and I don't remember, is it 200 or 250 for Premier League? I don't remember.
I don't know either, actually.
Fubar 1000 says, all in all, was a great draft. By the way, Jeffrey, did you auto draft? You bastard. Grin. Nope, not this time. This time although I did get pretty damn far into the playoffs with an auto drafted team last year. Unlike Rosalie.
Gone too soon.
Fish Tank says Tennessee tried to ruin A.J. Brown too. And didn't Randy Moss finish there?
Randy Moss did finish there.
Just a black hole for a wide receiver.
If you're a receiver, and I'm not saying that this is what happened with D-Hop because I think he got traded, but your last payday, just go to Tennessee. Yeah. You're not winning anything, but the money's nice.
It's nice. Just
and Tennessee's a nice part of the world. Nashville's a good city.
Sir. Cheese Skull says, when people inhabit Mars, the movie Alien becomes real when some foreign bug creature turns people into hosts for nasty, gross alien creatures that kills humans. I don't think that's destined, Cheese Cole. I mean, you can't say it's for real going to happen. Reaper says, hey guys, good afternoon. Sorry, couldn't make it to the draft party. Had some unforeseen things come up. Well, you are the Reaper. So T. Licious says, I'm not overly excited with my draft grade. I usually do better when I get bad grades. That's what I'm trying to say. Don't make anything of your grade. Don't make anything of it good. Don't make anything of it bad. Just, do your best you can with your team you got and work that waiver wire.
It's projecting based on last year's results. So that's not the same thing. Things are going to change. It's making estimations of the rookies that you have. It has no idea.
If NFL.com was an AI, the other AI would make it wear a helmet and not a football helmet. You know what I'm saying? Swazman says, Jeffrey, remind these guys in League Two that I'm returning champion with a 7-7 record last year. So draft is only part of a winning formula. But yeah, luck plays into it. Waiver wire plays into it. Having the right opponent at the right time plays into it. Fubar 1000 says, I know the draft analysis is crap, but we all know one's roster changes already by week 2. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Lacrosse guy says, Keon, you want to know about his spelling. You did get the spelling right this time, Lacrosse guy. He says, per our pro lacrosse conversation, Trevor Baptiste in the Atlas, stud face-off guy.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he was trying to remember who the name of the face-off guy was, and we just couldn't.
It was John Travolta and Nicolas Cage.
Well,
in Face-Off.
No, the position in lacrosse, not the movie.
No,
that's a very fun movie. But
I'm out of the conversation now. I got nothing. Reaper says, I'm telling you, the Rams are going to take this division this year. Based on what?
I mean, the Niners would have to implode.
Right. And I'm not
really
even sure
implode.
the Rams are better than the Cardinals.
I do believe the Rams are better than the Cardinals. Yeah.
I said I'm not sure.
I'm very certain.
You're sure?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't even heard anything about Matthew Stafford. Last year he was gimped up a little bit. Is he all back to 100% right now?
I haven't heard anything about his health this offseason, so I'm going to assume he's good.
That makes me nervous because he's a little fragile.
He's a little bit, yeah.
Fubar 1000 says, God, we love the waiver wire. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Ringless Joe says, according to NFL.com, the Patriots have an 8% chance of winning their division. How can they win the division if they can't win a game? I'm sure they'll win a game.
In that division, though?
They'll come across somebody with the flu.
Yeah, some version of the Dolphins, Bills, or Jets is going to have an off day, I guess. But that looks like an 0-16 in that division.
Mr. Pink Eye guarantees he will not lose a single game in fantasy football this year.
Okay.
Because he doesn't have a team. He doesn't have a team.
Well,
yeah,
that's
so
true.
He's right.
So no losses, but no victories either.
Matthew Stafford at 100% strength last time Reaper heard. Okay. No, I mean, I don't know.
He's
haven't heard much about the Rams lately.
They've been a little under the radar, but they're
good.
talented.
Tell you what, this Ayuk thing don't happen, and maybe you got something there. As long as Stafford is healthy and Puka and Cooper Kupp are too.
It's just replacing Aaron Donald is the tough thing for them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You better ball out if your defense is not right. Swave Dave says, just like back in school, it isn't important the grade on the report card as much as you learn. Is that really what was important?
Because
none of that math, none of it I've used. 0% of that math.
All I'm saying is,
I just used math right there, didn't I?
I lived in
the irony,
the No Child Left Behind state, and a lot of people passed.
Oh, Arizona is a leave a lot of children behind state.
But what did we learn anything? And the answer is no. We were in Texas. Of course,
we're too dumb to realize if we learned anything here in Arizona.
Oh no!
Don't know. You tell me. I don't know. Niner Annapolis says Tyreek, the Devontae Adams, Debo, T. Higgins on the bench, Derrick Henry, Dalton Kincaid. Good luck, League 3. Okay, this is the only day I'm going to allow all this
because
everyone else could care less about anybody else's fantasy football.
There's three things that nobody cares about in your entire life. Nobody cares about your kids.
Mm-hmm.
You care about your kids, but no one else does.
Right.
No one cares about your dreams.
No, your vacation photos.
Okay, that's okay. Four things. We'll go vacation photos as well and dreams. And then the fourth thing is your fantasy football team. Like just nobody cares.
Today, I'm gonna allow it. Everybody's excited. But you guys all know, most people who've listened to this show for any amount of time, we talk about the fantasy football going forward, meaning, all right, we get our questions answered by the fantasy football expert on Thursdays at 4 p.m. And then on Mondays or Tuesdays, we give the awards for the guy who had the most points, for the guy who did this. And, we started to talk a little bit about that. But generally, we don't talk about your fantasy football. We don't really talk about even our own fantasy football. You know what I mean? We try to not bore you on this show. So today is your time. If you want to crow and have some things to say, this is your time. But during the year, just know, you're like, if you start calling people out in fantasy football on the text line, I'm not going to read it. Just not going to read it. Not going to. Just don't care. So it's nothing personal. We don't even care about our own.
Your fantasy football team is important to you and kind of not anybody else.
Like if we destroy Ralph, we're talking about it. Like when I beat Rosalie Michaels
twice,
talked about it. Yeah, undefeated against her last season. That is worth talking about and mentioning in passing. But the fact that you got Tyreek, Adams, Debo, Higgins on the bench, Derrick Henry, Dalton Kincaid, good luck League 3, nobody's going to care. Nobody.
It's a deep team, though, for what it's worth.
Yeah, Indianapolis, actually, not bad. Berg says 5 wins for New England or more. I don't know. They're kind of sad. I don't feel like.
Is there 5 wins?
Do we want to do this
in that schedule?
Do we want to do this?
I don't know if I want to do it. I'm just curious. I'm just genuinely like, wait a minute.
We're doing this because that's the worst team in football right now. The New England Patriots. We're going to do this, and we're going to do it quickly and right now. Okay, here we go. Week 1. Can they beat Cincinnati? No. Seattle?
No.
New York Jets?
No. Not unless Aaron Rodgers blows his Achilles again or something like that.
San Francisco 49ers?
Absolutely not.
Miami?
No.
Houston? No. They're playing. No. Jacksonville? Maybe.
That's a maybe because the Jags just lose games that they ought to win a lot in. So yeah,
Jets again, same
still
scenario.
no.
Titans,
probably.
Okay, so there's 2. Bears,
I don't think so.
Rams,
no.
Dolphins,
no.
Colts. You're so lucky you didn't hesitate there.
But they won't.
Cardinals, maybe if Kyler Murray is not playing.
Yeah, if Kyler's not playing or there is like another significant injury, like if James Conner is out, that's probably going to hurt some things too. And Budda Baker's just a huge part of the defense. Might be concerning there.
So we got 2 wins so far, maybe. Buffalo?
No, but Buffalo wide receiver is not great.
Buffalo, because they play them so close together. They play on December 22nd and on January 5th. So maybe one of those times,
one, because if Buffalo's
on a home game.
Buffalo's a playoff team.
Like the last, they might rest some people.
Yeah.
So last game of the year. So right now you got, then the Chargers.
Yeah, they're beating the Chargers. Chargers are actually somehow worse.
You got maybe 3 wins, possibly 4. Berg, I'm sorry. No 5 wins in your future.
I don't see it.
And if you want to bet on that, I'm willing to do that. Ringless Joe says yesterday's Patriots lineup was basically their week 1 lineup, and they had like infinite penalties.
Oh, no.
Why are you watching that?
I kept an eye out because I wanted to see a little bit of Drake May, but I didn't actually watch the game, so I don't even know who won.
T-Licious says, dreaming is free, Reaper. Shanny is McVay's daddy. Niners are going to win the West, he says. Swazman says, remember, Jeffrey, I once won the fantasy football off auto draft, 16-0. Carson Palmer was my quarterback and Adrian Peterson was my main running back. No, because it was you and I didn't care. Love you, man. How am I going to remember that? Whistling Gerbil says 4th of July pictures too. Oh yeah, when people like take pictures of the fireworks. You're like, oh look, more fireworks.
It's just like I watched some. I don't need to see the ones you saw also with none of the sound or context. But why?
Boogie says, listen to me right now. Everybody cares about all 5 of my fantasy football teams. Otherwise, I wouldn't own a shirt that says, ask me about my fantasy football teams.
The fact that you have to wear a shirt that tells people to ask you is
nobody
the
cares.
proof that nobody cares. Because they just ask you if they cared.
Big George says, wow, Keon, didn't realize you hated my kids, my vacations, and my fantasy football team so much.
I didn't say I hated them.
Jeffrey cares.
He
doesn't.
I just don't care.
Hold on. No, Jeffrey doesn't.
Jeffrey doesn't either.
I
just want you to know there's a difference between don't care and hate. I don't hate your kids. They're your kids.
I'll be honest.
You take care of them.
George doesn't like overpost stuff. So when I see him and his family on vacation, I'm like, there they are. But I don't want to see all of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All the photos.
I just genuinely do not use Facebook anymore because there's just a lot of things I do not care about.
Fubar 1000 says, holy bleep, Jeffrey, you're right. I don't want to hear about your grandkids at the golf course. Tell me if you had a good round or not. Yeah, move on. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't have grandkids. Berg says, lunch bet? It is a bet. So what are we betting on this for? I say the Patriots probably 3, maybe 4 wins. You say 5, so that makes the over-under 5, right? Right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Simplified. If the Patriots win 5 games, I'll buy you lunch. If they win less, I get lunch. Don't give me that half, that whole.
Yeah.
So 5, there must be 5 wins for you to win. There's your bet, Big George. Virtual shake on it right there. Right there. Quiet Cannon says over under for the Rams is 8.5 games. They got 2 good receivers. Matthew Stafford is solid and healthy. Kyron Williams is there. Hot stick running. They look like 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock. Win team at least.
Oh boy.
Back. Quiet Cannon, your voice to text really betrayed you, but I think he means a 9 or 10 win team.
Yeah, voice to text did a number on everything you were just trying to say there. I'm so sorry.
Fell apart there at the end. Got away from you. Ringless Joe says your Commanders won 20-10, Keon. 13 points by Washington in the 4th quarter. Both teams looked bad, but somehow the Patriots were worse.
Washington didn't play any starters. That's not
Yeah,
great.
it wasn't even a real game.
Yeah, that's why I didn't watch it. I heard Jaden Daniels wasn't going to play. I didn't look at it.
Moist one says, you had me at hot stick running.
Oh. Yeah. We know.
Chief Skulls says, I just bet the car on the Royals to beat the Guardians at plus 400. Well, enjoy walking,
I guess.
Fish Tank says, no one cares about how close you were in hitting the parlay or that big bet. Yeah, you're right. How close you were isn't irrelevant. We care if you win. That's like, hey, good for you, man. But
yeah, if
close,
if you win, yeah. And the only time I mentioned that I was close is in the context of beat the book with Dylan, because they're his picks that he's giving out. So try to get a gauge on how close he is to one of those.
Beer Bob has a prediction that the New York Giants will actually be a worse team than the Patriots this year. Ooh,
I think you might have a point. I just don't know. The Giants have the better advantage in that the NFC East is not as loaded as the AFC East.
We are super duper late for a break, but I'll tell you what, during the break, I'm going to go down that list on their schedule and see how bad they're going to be. And I'll tell you when we come back if I agree. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
JD Hayworth here, and the road to feeling better leads to my good friends Dr. William and Ava Gaspar at Beehive IV Wellness in Chandler. With both licensed nurses and physicians on staff by appointment or walk-in, Beehive IV Wellness takes a holistic, naturopathic approach that helps your body with self-healing. All of today's popular treatments are available at Beehive Wellness, from IV hydration to joint injections, even popular semaglutide for weight loss. If you haven't tried IV treatment, you're missing out on your chance to really get healthy. So look them up. Make an appointment or simply walk into Beehive IV Wellness at their Chandler Clinic, where you always get a free
I feel like
initial
the
consultation.
NFC East
Mention
is-
me,
is
JD Hayworth,
a
get half
crazier
off your
division.
first treatment. Search Beehive
I think the Giants
IV
are gonna
Wellness
win
on
some
your
NFC
mobile
East
phone.
games that they
You'll
shouldn't.
thrive with Beehive.
Whether
probably
you're
wouldn't want to
tinkering in your
watch it.
garage or tackling big projects, if you know the value of working with your hands, you know Harbor Freight. And you can be confident knowing that at Harbor Freight, you can get quality tools at prices that work just as hard as you do. Because the only thing more satisfying than a job well done is a job well done, well under budget. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Progressive presents good news, bad news, dumb news, then great news. Good news. Your coworker Kyle said bundling home and auto insurance with Progressive could save you money. Bad news. While saying this, Kyle was eating your clearly labeled lunch. Dumb news. Pizza near work costs $7 a slice, and it tastes like drywall covered in ketchup. Great news. You decide to see if you could save money bundling at progressive.com and enjoy more lunches far away from Kyle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Attention all Arizona workers. You may be entitled to receive earned paid sick time. Every Arizona employer is responsible for keeping track of your hours and recording how much earned paid sick time is available under state law. Posters about paid sick time and minimum wage laws also need to be posted in every office. Get posters and learn more at azica.gov. That's azica.gov. This message is sponsored by the Industrial Commission of Arizona.
Volunteer now. Help vulnerable and oftentimes overlooked children in Arizona. Court-appointed special advocates, known as CASAs, are assigned to children as advocates during their experience in the foster care system. Volunteer now. You can change the life of a child for the better. Visit azcourts.gov/volunteer to learn about court-appointed special advocates. That's azcourts.gov/volunteer. This message is sponsored by the Arizona Supreme Court.
This is Brian Musburger. Don't miss Betting Across America, Saturdays at 11 a.m. right here on Arizona Sports Betting Station, 1580 and 99.3. The Fanatic.
Dave Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic, Beer Bob, Last Optimist, Whistling Gerbil, Hot Mike, Keon. We can hear you, Keon. Keon, we can hear you during the commercials.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, everybody. It's good enough for American radio, so just leave it alone.
I made a mistake and bumped it. It's fine.
Yeah. You got double your money's worth when you get to hear two people talking at the same time. All right. 888-368-1580 against the spread says, I hope you guys played my 2 Georgia Tech picks I gave out on Friday. Told you to take the 11 points and put a little on the Jackets to win too. Those bets paid handsomely.
Oh, you know I did.
Of course, Keon did.
Yeah.
You know he did.
The moment you said it, I was like, you know what? That is a great pick. I jumped on it.
Big George says, you guys are forgetting the team that's going to be the worst team of all, Carolina Panthers. They'll be lucky to even win a game.
That's true.
During the break, we kind of looked at the Giants, and I feel like the Giants, man, they are really competing for worst place with the Patriots. I didn't even look at the Carolina Panthers.
I don't even think the Giants' schedule is as tough as the Patriots' schedule, though. That's my only thing with saying the Giants are worse.
It's not, but the Giants do get to play Carolina, so there's that. Let me take a look at the Panthers. Where the hell are they on my thing here? Are they even in the league anymore? Where's I can't find them.
Well, if you're asking if they should, the answer is no.
I swear to God, I can't find them. Which
the
league?
The Panthers play the Saints.
Oh, there they
to
are.
start the
NFC
year.
South. There
Yeah.
they are. Got it. All right, schedule. Let's take a look. New Orleans, I don't think is going to be very good, so you'd have a chance there. But who's the quarterback for the Panthers right now?
It's Bryce Young.
Yeah.
Bryce Young versus Derek Carr. That barn burner of a game, I'm sure. The Raiders game is maybe a chance for them to win.
I feel like New Orleans might be.
I mean, the first 3 games
are their
that
best
they play
chance.
are their best chance.
Yeah.
If they can go 2 out of 3 in there, I think that's that's as good as you can ask for because it's never happening again for the rest of the season.
But this is the also possibility of if Tampa Bay or Atlanta, specifically Atlanta, is sniffing a playoff, maybe they rest some players and don't care if the Panthers win. The worst team ever. It depends on how Atlanta is jockeying for position by that point. But yeah, you're right. Those first 3 games are the best chance they have, and they would be lucky to beat one of them.
Yeah, I mean I
think the Raiders will beat the Panthers.
They've got a Denver game a little bit later in October that maybe.
To be honest, I think it's between New Orleans and Los Angeles as the only chance that this team has to win.
And I just think the Chargers, by virtue of having Justin Herbert, I don't feel good saying they'll beat the Chargers.
Mm-hmm. Ringless Joe says, "How can the Giants be worse than the Vikings? Sam Darnold is way worse than Daniel Jones." Well, the entire team
but it's the roster though.
Of the Giants is bad. Only Sam Darnold, he's the worst part of the Vikings. The rest of the team isn't as bad as the Giants, right?
It isn't, because when the Vikings had a healthy Kirk Cousins for the first, 7-8 games last year, that looked like a solid football team. And then Kirk Cousins goes down, and that's when everything falls apart for them.
Ringless Joe says Bryce Young's not bad. His wide receivers just never got any separation. Panthers can beat Derek Carr and the Saints.
That's
with the
thing.
same problems you just mentioned. I don't know.
But the thing with Bryce Young, I wouldn't say that he's bad. I actually like him a lot still, but he doesn't have the biggest arm. So those guys don't separate. And so underneath is where he likes to do his work, and he can't really function there because he doesn't have anybody that gets open. But then defenses can kind of cheat a little bit because they know he's not going to go over the top of the defense either. So it's kind of just two things working against each other at that point.
Swazman is the first one to make a prediction. We haven't even done this yet. Way too early predictions for this upcoming Super Bowl. Swazman says, my prediction is Kansas City Chiefs versus the Green Bay Packers in the Super Bowl.
Oh.
I don't know if I can get on board with that.
I mean, I think the Packers will be in the playoffs.
And
in the NFC. It wouldn't be my pick, but I don't think it's crazy. You'd have to get lucky, but
you got the Lions there and the Eagles. I don't know if they're going to be.
I think the Eagles are going to have problems this year.
You got the 49ers and the Rams and the Carolina Panthers. Just kidding.
The powerhouse. The powerhouse Carolina Panthers.
Yeah. Against the Spread says, too bad Keon couldn't elaborate on the Georgia Tech pick with his expert NCAA knowledge because he was interrupted by some guy on the show with a microphone. Who was that guy?
I don't know. There was just a little bit of a delay, so we kind of were shifting gears after that pick.
Were you talking about that Nathan guy?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly what happened there, but yeah, no, it was all good.
Moist One says that matchup was the first Super Bowl, wasn't it? Chiefs and Green Bay.
Yeah, it was.
Swaz, man.
Trying to bring us full circle here.
You know, it's been 2 hours and I'm still sitting here with the first stack of papers that I usually open the show with.
What did we do for 2 hours? What have we been talking about this entire time? I feel like we were talking about sports.
A lot of football. We're talking about our drafts, and we started talking about different teams.
About the worst teams in the league.
Yeah. We did take a left turn on the AI stuff for a minute.
Okay. Good point.
Big George says, I have an even crazier Super Bowl prediction. Chiefs versus the Bears. You're right. That is not going to happen. Ringless Joe says, this year there's a lot of teams that are racing towards the bottom. Vikings, Patriots, Giants, Broncos, Panthers, Saints, Steelers. They all stand to be very bad. He's not wrong.
Yeah. Like there's just a lot of teams where the quarterback situation is just so messy. There's no real answer.
Hey. Can I just get I told you so? I want to say I told you. I told you Russ Wilson was not going to do any good in Denver. He didn't. And I told you he's not going to do any good ever again anywhere. And look what's happening in Pittsburgh.
He was okay in Denver.
He's not going to even be the starter. That is the word on the street. He hasn't been declared the starter yet. Tomlin's done sort of trying to build up the ego of a Justin Fields. Legit, Russ Wilson is getting beat.
I don't think he's getting beat by
Brissett. See Jacoby Brissett get beat by Drake May. That was a little bit sad.
Yeah,
that was
a little depressing because I don't think Drake May's looked great. But no, I don't think Russell Wilson. He's going to be the starter. I watched Justin Fields for a few possessions, and I was like, "Dear Lord in heaven, that he could not have looked worse." I just don't see how Russell Wilson doesn't get that. And the last season he had in Denver, he was actually all right. He just got blamed by Sean Payton for literally every loss, even the ones that were Sean Payton's fault.
No, that's fair. That's fair. But no, I think Russ Wilson's done. Chief Skull says Vikings are a solid 6 wins. Ghosts or not.
I can agree with that.
I think it'll be less. Lost Toby says Panthers will go on a 3-game win streak starting week 14. Okay, Lost Toby. All right, guys. 2 hours of something down. 1 more to go. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Are you over 50? Would you like to get up to 33% more income in retirement? Then call now for this free book, Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers, from a leading financial firm on maximizing your income in retirement. That's right, free. This free book reveals little-known truths about annuities in simple-to-understand terms that will help you make the right choices before buying an annuity. And it's free. As a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report summarizing the rates and benefits from financially strong insurers.
Call 800-715-9880.
That's right, Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers and Annuity Rate Report, both absolutely free for calling today.
Call 800-715-9880. That's 800-715-9880.
Sponsored by Annuity General. Producers have the appropriate licenses for the products they offer. Increased income is possible using strategies suited to your goals and may require buying multiple annuities and holding them full term.
Right now at Wendy's, you can get a small Frosty for $1. And literally everyone is going. The car behind you, going to get a $1 Frosty. The car ahead of you, already had one, going for a second. The person who cut you off earlier, you guessed it, $1 Frosty. Maybe it's all a sign for you to go get one. Just don't cut anyone off. No one likes that person. The iconic Frosty for $1, gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. Participating U.S. Wendy's. Not valid in a combo. Prices may be higher in Alaska, Hawaii, California, and via third-party delivery.
Getting behind the wheel after drinking could change your world. Bobby here had a great time at the party and thought he was good to drive home. Now, Bobby's facing jail time, an upset wife, disappointed parents, and up to a $10,000 fine. It only takes one bad decision to change your world forever. Getting behind the wheel after you've been drinking is one of them. Drive sober or get pulled over. Learn more at NHTSA.gov. That's NHTSA.gov. This message brought to you by NHTSA.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, where every nail-biting overtime win, breakaway, pick six, three-point shot, underdog win, buzzer beater, shootout, walk-off, and absolutely every play in between is amazing. From football to basketball and hockey to baseball, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona.
Life is full of bright moments, but sometimes those moments can seem too far away. Trained and caring crisis specialists in Arizona can assist you with any situation, big or small. Free and confidential help is only one text away, day or night. Text the word HOPE to 4HOPE. That's HOPE to 44673. These moments matter, and so do you. This message is sponsored by Solari Crisis and Human Services.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
I'll settle down because it's time. Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. His good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, not alongside Randy Light. Hopefully he'll be back tomorrow. But we got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580. Broadcasting live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. All right, it's a quiet moment finally on the text line. It's been nonstop for 2 hours, so now we can finally talk about hooray, how the Diamondbacks swept the Red Sox. What? I'm just, that made me very happy. I was, I wasn't really paying attention over the weekend. I knew that the Diamondbacks beat the Red Sox Friday in that game. And then I just sort of, my brain clicked off over the weekend, and then I turned it back on this morning. I was like, oh, that is pretty damn good. I know that's a dumb thing to say, but come on.
It is good.
We needed that. Right? We needed that.
Of course you do. I mean, you're in a tight wild card race, so you need every win that you can possibly get. You need some stumbling to happen for some of these other teams, but right now the Diamondbacks are in a position where they control their own destiny in this wild card situation. And all they have to do is continue to win, and they'll be in.
Well,
and they're handling business so far.
Yeah, I mean, thought that the Red Sox would play it a little tougher than that. I really did not expect to sweep them. Did you expect a sweep?
A sweep? No, I didn't expect it. You didn't expect it, and Vegas didn't expect it.
And it was a dominant sweep, by the way. 12-2 on Friday, 4-1 on Saturday, 7-5 on Sunday. I mean, the Arizona Diamondbacks right now are Major League Baseball's highest scoring team. The bats are crazy. If we just had some better pitching, nobody could stop this team.
It certainly feels that way. And Ralph, by the way, got his little dig in on Friday night about how the Diamondbacks are beating all of these below 500 teams. The Red Sox are still an above 500 team, even after getting swept by the Diamondbacks. So this is a better baseball team than they're being given credit for. I was betting the Diamondbacks every game in this series because they were priced as an underdog for every game. So Vegas didn't see this coming either.
Yeah.
I just think that the Diamondbacks are hitting their groove and hitting their stride, and guys who were struggling earlier in the season, like a Corbin Carroll, I don't know if you can say he's back, but he's playing like the guy we know and we knew a year ago, where he's patient at the plate. He's not forcing anything. He's letting the game come to him, and then he gets on base, and that speed is otherworldly. And that's the Corbin Carroll you like to see, and he's playing like himself.
Yeah, I'll tell you, man, this second half of the year, we're sweep-tastic, man. Let's see, I was going down the list. Damn near swept the Cubs, damn near swept the KC, damn near swept Pittsburgh Pirates, did sweep the Washington Nationals, once again, almost swept the Pirates, did sweep Cleveland, almost swept Philadelphia, totally swept the Rockies. Then for some reason just got swept by Tampa Bay. We don't want to ever talk about that again. We swept Miami, and now we've swept Boston. This is a team that has gotten hot. Now, that said, there's still another over a month of baseball left, September, and it's a gauntlet. There are some teams that are pretty damn good in our way. Not you, Mets. Talking about the Dodgers. Dodgers coming up this weekend.
Yeah, even though the Diamondbacks have played the Dodgers pretty well, not just this season, but the season before. Best record, by the way, in baseball since the All-Star break. The Arizona Diamondbacks.
We got a 4-game run on those guys. Then it's San Francisco. Then it's the Houston Astros, the Texas Rangers, Brewers, Rockies, Brewers again, San Francisco again, ending with the San Diego Padres.
Yeah, so those are a lot of teams that have been pretty hot since the All-Star break ended, and the Diamondbacks, of course, are the hottest team in that bunch of teams. But definitely, you don't want to overlook the Padres. You don't want to overlook the Dodgers. They're in your division. And, as much as the Diamondbacks, I don't think should be looking to win the division necessarily. If the opportunity presents itself, obviously you go for it. It still matters that you're in that mix, with the Dodgers, like 3.5 games back.
Big George says, I got to say, I was wrong about Eugenio Suarez. Completely turned things around, is on fire. Did you see him smash the ball over Fenway? That one home run yesterday was so high it hit the top of the light tower above the Green Monster. Yeah, it was a go-ahead 3-run homer right there. Bam, right over the greenie. Yeah, I mean, right now we've got the top wild card spot. And like I said, we've been sweeping. It was our second sweep in Fenway, the second time. Of course, the last time was 22 years ago. But hey.
Well, you can't say that anymore.
All right, so here in about an hour and a half, Eduardo Rodriguez, left-handed pitcher, is going to take the mound for the Diamondbacks. So, here's hoping. They just got to keep going, man. Just got to keep going. Keep the wins. Keep the wins going. Let's not get too cocky. Let's not get too crazy. President Wallet says, Jeffrey, you said they almost swept so many teams. For the next month, all you're going to say is Diamondbacks almost got swept by. God, I hope not. Why would you say that? Don't say that. Why? Why you say that?
But it's also true. If you win 3 out of 4 games, that you did almost sweep a team.
Yeah.
If you win 2 out of 3,
Well, President Walsh is saying the Diamondbacks are going to get cold, is what he's saying, and that we're running a gauntlet, and we're probably going to be lucky to get the wins we get, is what he's saying.
I mean, I just don't know how you can know that. Like, we'll see.
Hope not. All I'm going to say.
They're playing good baseball at the right time. What else can you ask for?
Ringless Joe says, I think the Titans have a good chance to be competitive. Will Levis did well in his rookie year. He's a large guy whose size will help him in the second year. I really do see the Titans beating the Bears in the opener. Experience often outweighs raw talent, especially in high-stakes season debuts. And okay, Ringless Joe. Ringless Joe. Okay. Kyle G says, well, for doing predictions, here's mine. Bears grab the last wild card spot while Green Bay gets 10 wins and the Lions get 12 before going on to win the Super Bowl over the Ravens. Chiefs lose in the first round to a very motivated Bills team who lost the division to the Jets the week before. It's very specific about what did you?
Yeah,
did you run a Madden simulation? What the hell was that?
I understand this. Yeah, is it possible that the Bills are overrated? Because those wide receivers that they have, Keon Coleman, rookie, like him, but I just don't like their wide receiver room at all. And I think you need good receivers if you're going to have Josh Allen, who's a little bit of a gunslinger.
Beer Bob says, Jeffrey, I don't believe the game is in an hour and a half. I believe it's in 25 and a half hours. I thought they were off today and they play tomorrow. Oh, did I always do that. I see the little thing that says the game and the time, and then I'm not thinking it was today.
Yeah, and then you just don't look at the date. I've done that too.
See you in 25 and a half hours and then some. Cheese Skull says, Royals cash out. I just won the value of 2 Yugos. Well, that's about $15. Big George says, today's an off day for the Diamondbacks. Yes, we just sorted that out. Thank you. Did you see that? This is when you see it on paper, you're like, what? I don't think. Have they ever done a thing where a guy gets traded to another team and in the middle of a game, he just walks over to the other dugout, throws on a jersey and plays immediately? I don't know if that's ever happened. It looked like it happened back in July with the Red Sox. Danny Jansen, he was playing. He was playing against the Toronto Blue Jays there at Fenway for the Red Sox, and then there was a rain delay, and then he got traded to the Blue Jays, and so when they got back in the same game, like a day or two later, then he was playing for the other team. In fact, it was it was in the top of the second inning with 1 on and 1 out. Jansen was at the plate. The count was 0-1, but play was suspended due to rain and rescheduled, till August 26th.
Yeah, so it was June was when they started the game.
It was July. No, it was July 26th.
No, he was traded on July 26th. The game was June 26th. They traded for him July 27th, and the rescheduled game was today. So there's been a couple of months in between then too.
Oh no, you're incorrect. It wasn't June. It was July. It was July 26th. They had the game. There was a rain delay. He got traded on July 27th. Then again, they played on August 26th. No, I had it right.
Okay.
Anyway,
my article literally says the opposite of that, but that's fine.
It is wrong. So, so he ended up going up the bat for each team in the same game. All right, so a rain delay can make that happen, but have they ever had it in history where a guy comes walking across the field, throws on a jersey, and plays in the same game twice? Or is this the absolute first time in history that this has ever happened? I think it is. First time it's ever happened, and the only way it could happen within the same game.
Yeah, it's never happened before. No one has ever played for two different teams involved in the same game.
I like the idea of you get traded and you find out during the game, you literally walk over, they give you a jersey, and you immediately start playing. How hard is it to figure out? It's just baseball.
Well, it depends on what you're doing, because I think Danny Jensen's a catcher, so it's not just baseball. Like, what are your signs with this pitcher?
Catcher is a little harder, but if you say we're a first baseman, second baseman, third baseman, shortstop, fielder, any one of those, even a pitcher is a little hard because you got to get with the catcher. Those two are a little harder, but any other position out there, I think you should be allowed to do that. I think it's fun.
I would do it. But I don't know that Major League Baseball is going to do it because they don't like fun.
You're right. Against the Spread says Diamondbacks are a very good team, and this is no fluke because of their track record over the last two seasons. They do the little things right, Good manager, good defense, good base running. They get on base, timely hitting, good pitching, and they have the it factor and never give up on games. All of that, yeah, but sometimes the managing.
I got to give Torey Lovullo credit though. He's been making a lot of good decisions over the last couple of months. And I just think that, in the spirit of fairness, I criticize the guy when he doesn't do smart things or he leaves a guy in too long. He's made every decision he's supposed to, and he hasn't waited too long. The Jordan Montgomery, okay, he's floundering a little bit. You give him opportunities to show that he could do better, but when he can't, you just move on. And now Ryan Nelson's got his spot in the rotation. When you had your closer going through a situation where he was in a slump, you try to ride it out. You don't want to cut his confidence away. But once it's clear he's not getting back on track, I thought Torey waited the right amount of time to give him a chance, but not so long that he started costing the team games. I think the guy's actually done very well this season.
Torey Lovullo will frustrate you and then amaze you within a couple of games. You know what I mean? He does make some odd decisions, and sometimes they don't work out, and sometimes they do work out. But this team was in a World Series last year they had no business being in. So,
And sometimes it felt like, despite him last year, it doesn't feel like that this year. It feels like he is actively involved in the team being good.
Chris Wallet is actively involved in just hating on the Diamondbacks.
Uh-oh.
Diamondbacks, if they do make the playoffs, they'll get eliminated first round, like last year. Okay. Spidey Mon says, couldn't be possible that a player can play for both teams in the same day because he wouldn't be on both rosters. You have to submit a roster or they can't play. You can't bring in another guy to replace the guy.
Yeah, you got your lineup. I mean, he technically could pinch hit, right?
I've got a pen right here. Just draw it in.
Yeah,
there.
But once you hand it into the umpire, but if you pinch hit, do you have to be the? I'm genuinely asking. I do not know.
You have to be on the actual roster, but I think they should make an exception where you're like, hey, Blue, get over here. That name, scratch it off, write it on over there. Okay. They could. Spidey Mon, if they wanted. Chief Skull says, did Keon say to be fair? Did you? Oh, sorry, I missed it.
I don't remember. Sometimes I'm just talking. I don't know. I don't remember exactly what words I used.
Okay, now I feel a little weird. Chief Skull just sent me a picture. And there's a picture of of his dog. Now it's cool. It's funny. The dog is watching the screen and actually paying attention. And it says Vikings talk. And the dog is like watching very intently, watching you and me on the TV. And then the next picture, it says Packers talk. And the dog is laid over out cold. But here's the thing about this picture. We're being watched in Chief Skull's bedroom because the dog is on the bed. I can see Chief Skull's bathroom. And I think Chief's, are you sick in bed? Or I don't know. It's just kind of weird. Just you're watching us in bed. Just keep your hands above the covers, Chief Skull. That's all I ask. Beer Bob says, yes, Danny Jansen is the first player to ever play for two teams in one game. And actually, he was at the bat and behind home plate catching at the same time. He was the batter when play got suspended. He was the catcher for the other team when they started it back up again.
Oh, okay. So that's
somebody had to pinch hit for him. That's even
that's
weird.
funny.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that so much.
Swazman says, Jeffrey, imagine a pitcher starting for one team, then getting taken out, traded to the other team, and then back in there as a relief pitcher for the new team. I can imagine. I can. I think it's awesome, but it's not going to happen. T-Licious says, yeah, he started with the Blue Jays, and now he's on the Red Sox. Well, no. Wait. I thought he was on the Red Sox and went to the Blue Jays. Was it the other way around?
Yeah, he was.
No, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
It was the other way around. It is a very confusing story. Lost Toby says AI has the Colts in Baltimore winning in week 1. Does AI know that the Colts are no longer in Baltimore? Or was it just talking about the Ravens and the Colts winning in week 1? I mean, we're playing the Texans, so it's not that big a stretch. If AI, I love if they're right. Anyway, we're not getting very far with the show at all today, are we?
No,
We're
clearly not.
Yeah, I want to just say good guy. Good guy. I want to say good guy. Can I say good guy? Good guy. Kansas City Royals catcher Salvador Perez took time on his day off last Thursday to play some wiffle ball. He was driving by, saw some kids playing in the yard. So he says, hey, can I join? And they're like, yeah. 9-time All-Star, played a few innings with them, and they were all thrilled because they knew who he was. It wasn't like he was some sort of creeper, like, hey, I'm going to come over here and play.
Right.
They're like, oh, my God, it's Salvador Perez. One kid who was pitching said, I probably won't throw a fastball to Salvador Perez again. He hit a home run. It was a wiffle ball. You know what I'm saying?
He just crushed it.
I love how this kid thought he was throwing a fastball with a wiffle ball.
Not to distract too much, but did you see the video of Lamar Jackson playing flag football with those kids?
No, I didn't see that.
Oh, he was playing flag football with a bunch of kids, and they were surrounding him. It was like Lamar versus everybody. They couldn't catch him. The flags are hanging out there, and he just would spin and get out of it.
You sure he didn't tie his flags on? That's a cheap move right there.
They couldn't touch them. It wasn't like they were close, and it was stuck. They weren't close. They were not close. He was spinning and twirling and jumping over people. It was ridiculous.
You got to remember, it is a kid's game, so it's fun when people still
have that
keep
joy
it fun.
for it. Yeah.
Right. No joy for the Chicago White Sox. They have lost their 100th game. 100 games. Now, Chicago's done this 6 times in their history.
Oh, man.
And now in consecutive seasons.
That's the part that hurts, because I think you're actually in historic levels of badness when you do it back to back.
They called up the manager they fired, and they just fired him again. I don't even work for you. I don't even know you're fired. We just have to. We have to do something here. Yeah, the White Sox, their worst was 106 games in 1970. Their worst winning percentage, .325. They went 49, 102, and 1 tie in 1932. The White Sox are often bad.
They're going to eclipse that, I think.
Mm-hmm. Got a whole month.
I know. A lot of baseball left.
This must be the worst White Sox team ever. Beer Bob says, I believe the White Sox are the second fastest team to lose 100 games since 1900. Yeah, that was the next thing right there. Yeah.
Who was it in
1900?
1900? Because if they're the fastest team to do it since also them, that would be the sad part. I got to do a wellness check on a friend.
Yeah.
He's a White Sox fan, and
You probably should get your phone.
Ooh.
Let's take a break. He'll check on his White Sox friend, and we'll come back and talk some other stuff. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's action update on 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
Get insights into the sports betting market with VSiN's betting splits. See where the money is and keep updated on how the market is reacting. Only at VSIN.com. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
NFL wrapping up its preseason over the weekend and now have until Tuesday afternoon to get their roster down to the 53-player limit. The regular season opener is going to be on September 5th at Arrowhead Stadium when the Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs take on Baltimore. The Chiefs, an early 3-point favorite at home, minus 156 on the money line. Baltimore plus 132 with an over-under of 46.5. An international game in Brazil Friday, Philadelphia taking on Green Bay. The Eagles favored by 2.5 points with an over-under of 48.5. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit, 800-786-9300, 800-786-9300, 800-786-9300.
Progressive presents good news, bad news, dumb news, then great news. Good news. Your coworker Kyle said bundling home and auto insurance with Progressive could save you money. Bad news. While saying this, Kyle was eating your clearly labeled lunch. Dumb news. Pizza near work costs $7 a slice, and it tastes like drywall covered in ketchup. Great news. You decide to see if you could save money bundling at Progressive.com and enjoy more lunches far away from Kyle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Let's say you've got questions. You're looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Well, Harmon Solar has the answers. Hi, I'm Jeffrey O'Brien, and listen, there's a couple of ways you can go here. One, visit harmonsolar.com, browse around, because right across the page, they got links to all sorts of great information, like frequently asked questions, equipment, tax credits, even testimonials. Or just give them a call, 800-281-3189. Ask them directly. They'd love to hear from you. That's 800-281-3189. Or just go to harmonsolar.com.
Getting behind the wheel after drinking could change your world. Bobby here had a great time at the party and thought he was good to drive home. Now, Bobby's facing jail time, an upset wife, disappointed parents, and up to a $10,000 fine. It only takes one bad decision to change your world forever. Getting behind the wheel after you've been drinking is one of them. Drive sober or get pulled over. Learn more at NHTSA.gov. That's NHTSA.gov. This message brought to you by NHTSA.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here, host of You Better You Bet, reminding you to check out the show. Now, why should you check out You Better You Bet? Because we bring you the most fun. We bring you the most insightful, the most entertaining show in the wagertainment world. From up-to-the-minute breakdowns of backdoor covers, bad beats, and the cheers and tears that come alongside them. Plus, you'll get the best betting analysis anywhere from myself, Ken Barkley, and some of the best minds in the sports wagering world. So tune in weekdays, noon to 3 on Arizona Sports Betting Station, 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
Dave Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Big George says, funny story about Salvador Perez. He is a great guy. About 10 years ago, he was playing the Cubs at Sloan Park in spring training, and he was at bat, and he accidentally threw his bat into the stands during an at-bat, hitting my dad. Salvador is very nice about it. Let my dad keep the bat, and he signed it. It is now sitting in my dad's office at home right now. Oh, that's cool, man. That's very cool.
That's pretty awesome.
Uh-oh. Chief Skull says, Mrs. Chief Skull banished me to the other TV.
Chief Skull. What did
So-
you do?
No, because it's this show. She doesn't want.
Oh, she specifically.
She said doesn't want this show
I
on the
do
main
not
TV.
want this nonsense in my living room. You better
he-
take that up to the room.
He got banished to the bedroom.
No, that's fair.
Yeah, I actually it makes a lot of sense.
I understand.
All right. Well, I know that you like the Vikings talk. Maybe you don't care about the Packers talk, and I know that Keon loves some Commandos talk, but I know you don't like the Cowboys talk. CeeDee Lamb has went ahead and signed that contract. I know you were kind of hoping that he would hold out and make the Cowboys worse, but he has agreed to a 4-year extension at $136 million. And guess how much is guaranteed? $100 million. Wow. CeeDee Lamb has won the lottery.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're going to pay Dak Prescott. I don't know how they're going to pay Micah Parsons, but he's got his.
Yeah, and I think that part of it is you have to. Like, I don't know what choice they had. He's the other pillar of that team, and when he's not out there, they feel it. They notice. I was holding out hopes that they wouldn't be able to figure out how to pay him, but they were going to. Like, there was no choice for this squad.
Right.
So they're going to have to draft well. That's really what it comes down to. Is if they want to get talent on that roster, it better come through the draft.
And you're Brandon Ayuk sitting at home, you see the news, and you're like, son of a bitch.
Either that or your agent's like, oh, the price just went up again. And the Niners might be feeling the heat a little bit there.
I want to say it again. I said it earlier, but I want to say it again. We talked about Juju Smith-Schuster re-signing with the Chiefs. He was on the Patriots, didn't do great, but he was on the Chiefs when they won the Super Bowl. And yes, I did run out and grab him in fantasy football just in case, because we don't know what this Rashee Rice thing is going to be like. You know what I mean? So,
and I'm pretty sure that's why they picked him up. He's already familiar.
Yeah, maybe think about it, because Patrick Mahomes is always going to get the ball in the right place, if you know what I mean. It makes wide receivers look good. So I'm just saying, if you've got a spare slot in your roster, maybe go grab him. I grabbed him immediately.
Yeah, it was wise.
But make sure you do it with a slot you don't need. You know what I mean? Just in case. This is experimental stuff. This is you could turn into a horrible use of I got rid of a rookie to get Juju Smith-Schuster. A rookie I was kind of eyeballing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I might regret this later. But it's all part of the game, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's worth the risk.
Hey, remember when Commandos made this little statue of Sean Taylor out of like chicken wire and crap?
Yeah, embarrassing.
Well, they're making up for it because the Commandos are now building a statue, and I get like a real statue.
That's awesome.
They removed the chicken wire one,
I think that was like one of the first things they did.
It had the wrong jersey. It was a Reebok instead of Nike, and it had there was no it just didn't have the tape on the face mask like he used to wear and stuff like that. Like little details that the real fans noticed.
It wasn't even. It was like a plastic mannequin in this glass case. Essentially, it wasn't a statue in any way that matters.
They say this statue will rightfully celebrate the legacy and impact that Sean had on the organization, fan base, and community. I don't know when this will be done.
I don't think they're going to be in a rush for it, because I think they want to make sure they've got, a new building in place. But when they unveil things, so I don't know exactly what
they may not have a new building in like till 2030.
Maybe not, but I think, I don't know. I've heard things are moving along very well with the local government, which is important.
You get the statue, you bolt it down, but you'd be ready to unbolt it and move it with the,
that's
when you
true.
go to the new place.
And that's just depending, because if they move back to DC, and they get the old RFK site, they might just be able to essentially renovate that stadium instead of building a new one from scratch.
Chief Skull says goodbye, Dak Prescott. They'll pay Micah unless he gets hurt. Then they'll require a pay cut from him, is how I think they'll play it. Well, okay, then who are the Cowboys going to have as a quarterback if it's goodbye Dak?
Yeah, I don't think that the goodbye Dak is a thing that's going to happen. I think they're going to pay him. I like, what choice do you have there?
Yeah,
because they were trying let's see if we can kind of fix what the Niners had with Trey Lance. You see what Trey Lance did in that preseason game?
No, I don't watch
5
Cowboys.
interceptions in a preseason game. That is not good.
Yeah. So Trey Lance is not an option, Swazman.
The future of that team, it ain't Trey. He had a lot of really big highlights in that game. He had like a 70-yard run or something like that, but he also threw the ball away 5 times. And one of those was, okay, last play of the game, you're just kind of chucking it. But the other
Also,
4?
Against like second, third, fourth string guys.
Exactly.
CK says Ayuk's price didn't go up because CeeDee Lamb contract. CeeDee had all the leverage. Ayuk has none. He's under contract this year and can be franchised. If he decides not to play, he gets fined. 49ers are more important to him than he is to the Niners. Otherwise, he would have agreed to the Patriots $32 million a year or the other 3 or 4 offers he received.
He's behaving as though he has the leverage. He declined the contract that they offered him because the last year wasn't guaranteed. I think Ayuk has got plenty of leverage. I don't agree with that, actually. I think that Ayuk is in a position where, you know, if the Niners go out there in week 1 and their offense struggles a little bit, they can find him all they want to. They're the ones that are trying to win a Super Bowl right now, and he knows it.
Jonesy says 5 interceptions in one game. Sounds like my player in NCAA.
Oh my God.
Baker's Cocky Hen says Sean Taylor was one of my favorite players in the league. He hit like a truck. He was Jamal Adams made of titanium. He was better than Ed Reed in the conversation of best Canes DB.
And Ed Reed said so. Like, that's the thing that if you want to take that anywhere, like, Ed Reed agrees. And Ed Reed is, you know, best safety I ever watched the full career of the guy, you know. Miss Sean Taylor, and I'm glad that he's getting his memory done right.
Mr. Pink Eye says, how does Keon think the Pac-12 teams will do in the Big 10 and the Big 12?
I think it's going to be some mixed results. I think the teams that are in the Big 12 are going to do better than the teams that are in the Big 10, just because I think the Big 12 isn't as strong top to bottom. So I think it's gonna be pretty good. Like, you know, Arizona's going to probably have like a solid year in the Big 12. ASU is still rebuilding, but I think that this gives them, you know, different like opponents that they can hang with a little bit better. I think to a degree. I think the Big 12 teams are fine. The Big 10 is where I'm a little worried because I don't like the Trojans very much. I just think that their defense is atrocious. And I don't know that in the physical Big 10, where you can't just spread everybody out, you're going to have to push back. You're going to have to be physical. You're going to have to dominate somebody. Can the Trojans do it? And can UCLA do it? I think that that's going to be a tougher ask.
888-368-1580. Big George says, let's be honest, for all the crap we give Dak Prescott, he's the best quarterback to put on that Cowboys uniform since Troy Aikman, maybe even since Danny White or Roger Staubach. Okay, I would not put him above Troy Aikman.
He said since Troy Aikman.
I'm just making sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, it seems like he's been quarterback over there forever. I don't even remember any. Tony Romo.
Yeah.
Tony Romo was good for a minute and he kind of.
No, I think Romo was good, but it's just like, when is Romo good? The first 3 quarters of a game.
Mm-hmm.
When is Romo bad? The last one. Yeah, I've seen him lose that team games. He himself put them in positions to win. It just eventually you just couldn't deal with it.
Cheese Skull says, if I was Dak, I wouldn't sign with Dallas the way they treated him. I'd rather see Dak in Arizona Cardinal and Kyler go to Dallas.
It's not happening, dude. And the way they
what do you mean they have that much money?
What do you mean the way they treated him? They made him at the time. He was the highest paid quarterback when they paid him.
CK says, with the Niners, 2 rookie wide receivers are improving every day. They're not Ayuk, but as a team, his production will be spread around. Well, so the historical data is that Purdy kind of falls apart when he doesn't have Brandon Ayuk.
He's not as strong, and it's just being able to have a deep threat that you can push the ball downfield, and if it's a 50-50 ball, you feel really good that your guy's going to go up and get it. That takes away from that confidence to make some of those throws. And like I like some of the other Niners receivers, but like I don't think you can just replace Brandon Ayuk that easily.
No, that they got to get that sorted out here pretty quick. Romo says Baker's Cocky Hens is the best field goal holder in the league. Ask Ralph. So now I don't know if you know this or not. We've been talking about this periodically, but the emergency quarterback, I guess they voted and they're like, no, we're not going to do that. We vetoed the change. The NFLPA has vetoed the rule change. And so now the emergency quarterback must still be on the 53-man roster.
Well, it's rare that it ever comes to that, but we did witness a playoff game where, the Niners had every single quarterback on their roster knocked out of a game.
So a lot of teams are probably going to want to carry 3, right?
I still don't think you do it. Because it doesn't come up that often. And the extra spot for some other position that also needs depth, I don't think so.
It'll be interesting to see what teams do. And this also affects, the cuts that are coming up. You got to make your 53-man cut.
I believe that's today.
Was that today?
Is that
the
today
deadline's today on that?
Is it? It's either this Monday or next Monday. I know it's a Monday, but I can't recall which one.
I've been watching all the different moves and stuff that everybody's been making, all the cuts, but I didn't know when the deadline was. So
I'm sorry, that's tomorrow.
It is tomorrow. Okay,
yeah.
Well,
so a lot of teams are going to make their cuts today, and then the deadline, you got to have that all finished up by tomorrow.
So we talked about how Drake May played better than Jacoby Brissett. They still haven't. I don't think have they announced what they're doing yet? The Patriots? Yeah, who gives
No,
a crap?
they have not announced it. No,
it should be Drake May, but I'm really surprised that Jacoby Brissett didn't do well. But he hurt himself. He hurt himself during that game. So maybe that just gives them an excuse to see what Drake May's got,
Yeah, but I know they don't want to, because he does have a lot of stuff that needs to be polished up. And if you put him out there in the NFL and he's not ready, a lot of rookies tend to fall back on bad habits. They may have been over the course of training camp, learning the correct things, fixing some of their bad habits. But if they're not ingrained in that player yet, you don't want to put him out there and then have him fall back on the stuff that used to work in college just out of, stress, or the defense is coming after you. So your footwork gets sloppy because you don't want to be hit by a 300-pound man that seems to hate you a lot. I think there's plenty of good reason to not rush him out there, but with Brissett going down and also not looking great, I don't know. It's a tough spot for them.
So Tua Tagovailoa is like, hey, I got to Odell Beckham Jr. How you like it? I don't know. I've got to have any reps with him. I've been even got to throw him a ball yet because he's been hurt all the time, right? So he's like, I don't know if I'll have chemistry there. He's like, we hang out, we have a nice time. He says, but he's a cool dude, 100%. But does that translate? Does our relationship translate to the field? He's like, couldn't tell you. I haven't got any reps.
That's the Odell story.
Yeah, well, yeah, because remember, didn't he just show up in the playoffs for a minute on the last team he was on? Which, by the way, I don't remember what it was.
I think it was Baltimore. Yeah, he was hurt most of the year, and then
he
showed up for that last game. Got targeted twice, dropped one ball, didn't do anything.
Well, no, here it says he got 35 passes for 565 yards, 3 touchdowns with the Ravens, but not
in the playoff,
right at the beginning, and then later.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Odell's. He's got to be pretty close to done here, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's got to believe it, and some team has got to stop believing in him and stop saying, well, if he's healthy. He hasn't been. It's been 5 or 6 years of Odell Beckham. He shows a lot of promise in training camp. He sprains or tears something. He misses most of the year. That's his story.
Swazman says, come on, Goodell. Come on, NFL. 3 quarterbacks for every team, every week. That way, guys like Sam Darnold and Mitch Trubisky still have jobs. It does kind of start to look like charity work after a while when you have that many quarterbacks. Speaking of charity
Sam Darnold is a starter, by the way. I think he's doing all right. $15 million this year from the Minnesota Vikings
He is in Minnesota, but not in the real world.
Yeah,
he's not a starter anywhere but Minnesota.
Every year, there are a handful of bad teams that just have to have a guy. They just grab a human being and make them play quarterback.
Well, good news. Jared Stidham's probably going to be available.
Uh-oh.
Because he lost that Broncos QB job to Bo Nix, and he's like, I was very disappointed. Did you really ever think? Did you really?
Then you were out there watching the film of you play. Did you think that looked? You thought that looked good, huh?
Huh.
You had a really good chance there.
Okay.
Did you?
Yeah, but Keon says you'll probably have a job somewhere.
Yeah, you'll be on a practice squad for this season.
Chief Skull says the Vikings cut Birmingham Stallions' great quarterback Mike Corral. Say it's not so. Is it Corral or Corral?
Matt Corral.
Oh, Corral, not like Walking Dead. Corral. All right. Moislin says Darnold starts in New England and Oakland.
That's true. He's saying what other teams could he play for? He could start in New England because they don't.
I don't think he's better than Minshew. He wouldn't start in Oakland
or Las Vegas, but I think it's close. I think it's close. I like Minshew a little better too, though.
What does this world come to where you got 32 teams and Sam Darnold is still on one of them? You know, what does it come to?
It's just the guy's got a big arm and he's not dumb. He's just panicky.
Are we not teaching kids how to be quarterbacks anymore? You know what the problem is? Let me tell you what the problem is. I'm going to tell you what the problem is. Too many coaches are letting their kids be the quarterback rather than growing actual talent out there. So then some kid doesn't get his chance because the coach's kid is the quarterback. So there's other kids like, well, I'll just go play basketball, I guess. And you don't end up with the best talent in the quarterback position going through flag football, junior high, high school, college, and then in the NFL. There are people out there who are probably stellar NFL quarterbacks that never got the chance because some guy made his kid the quarterback.
I don't know.
If you're a coach right now, let me just say, you suck.
Oh, no.
You suck, and so does your kid.
It's relative. When we say a guy like Sam Darnold sucks, we mean at the NFL level, the guy sucks.
No, listen to me. I'm right, and you know it. You've seen it a million times. If you're a coach and your kid is playing the quarterback or the pitcher, or the point guard or whatever, you suck. You're a horrible coach. You should be ashamed of yourself if you have your kid playing quarterback when you know there's other kids with better arms. I've seen it.
Yeah, it's happened, but I don't think it's happening enough to cause there to be 5 or 6 QB openings in the NFL. That's just
it's a trickle effect.
Some guy isn't good enough at the NFL level, so he's done.
From flag football up, trickle effect. I guarantee you that we have probably missed some more Tom Brady's and Patrick Mahomes and more great quarterbacks because the coach let his kid play and discouraged the other kid who could have been great. Guaranteed.
Maybe, but I don't think that they're like
dying on this hill.
6 NFL caliber players that happened to.
6, maybe 12.
I don't think so.
Big country, 350 million people.
I don't think so. Because at a certain point, if you're that good and it's noticeable,
even if it was only 1, it was wrong.
If
you're a coach of a team and your kid is playing and he's not better than everybody else, you suck.
I agree with that. I'm saying Sam Darnold is not the quarterback of the Minnesota Vikings because that happened. Sam Darnold was really good in college.
The only thing that makes sense to me.
He was really good in college. And that's why he's getting the chances that he's getting.
Yeah, but he was really bad ever since he got to the NFL, and he's still here. That's why.
Well, because he's been okay at points, too.
Scratch Me Because says, hey, thanks for the new Fanatic hat, Radio Ron. And he sends a picture of it. Looking good, my friend. Looking good. Chief Skull says, my prediction, Denver lets Stidham go, and the Vikings sign him, and he starts after 4 games. Could be. Swazman says, by the way, Ryan Tannehill, still at home like Flacco.
Ryan Tannehill stinks now.
Mm-hmm.
I hate to break it to you. He was so bad last year. Their plan was to slowly develop Will Levis, and they said screw it after like 6 games. He was awful.
Moiswin says that Sam Darnold's not that bad.
He's just okay. He's Darnold. We talk about Darnold like he's the worst guy in the league, and it's just not true. There's so many worse quarterbacks than Sam Darnold. So many.
Big George says, what about Shedeur Sanders with Colorado? He's the coach's son, but he's actually really, really good. Individual results may vary.
Yeah, but if your dad is Deion Sanders and you get the
I said, if your kid isn't the best quarterback, you suck. Sometimes it could happen.
Sometimes it's true. And if you're Dion and you've got you're the fastest guy, you were the fastest man in the NFL at one point, your son's got a little bit of that.
Swazman says, what about Tom Brady coming out of the booth, getting on the field for the Vikings and replacing Sam Darnold?
He's part owner of the Raiders, so he can't.
Yeah, it's not happening. Moist one says Nathan Peterman kept getting chances somehow, though, huh?
And Nathan Peterman was worse.
All right, listen, we got to take a break. When we come back, we got On This Date in Big Georgia sports history. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Philo's got a world of entertainment for you to explore with just one subscription. Sign up today and start watching all the networks you love, like A&E, MTV, Discovery, VH1, TLC, Lifetime, Hallmark Channel, and so much more. Featuring current seasons of all the best drama, true crime, reality, and family-friendly shows you can't afford to miss. And with up to 3 streams at once, you'll never have to fight about what to watch. Get started today and unlock our library of over 75,000 movies and shows, and save all your favorites with the unlimited DVR, so you can rewatch them anytime, anywhere for up to a year. Philo now includes access to AMC Plus. You can discover your next obsession from its collection of hit originals like Mad Men, The Walking Dead, Killing Eve, Orphan Black, and tons of blockbuster movies. There are no contracts, no commitments, and no hassles. For just $28 a month, Philo's a better way to watch TV. So what are you waiting for? Visit philo.tv and sign up today to start your 7-day free trial. That's PHILO.tv.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit, 800-786-9300, 800-786-9300, 800-786-9300.
So what did the doctor say?
He said I might need surgery.
Wow, it's that serious.
Well, we won't know for sure until I talk with the surgeon, but I'm lost. This is all new to me.
The decision to have surgery isn't easy, but neither is living with pain.
There is an alternative to surgery. At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our doctors are experts in full spectrum care using a natural approach and can restore pain-free joint function so you can avoid surgery. Patients come in for a variety of issues, including joint pain, chronic conditions, and issues specific to men's and women's health. We also help restore balance in immune, digestive, and hormone systems, which often improves both immediate physical symptoms and also improves cognition and emotional stability. So when traditional medicine suggests you need surgery, how about taking another approach? Call Naturopathic Physicians Group at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161. Or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
Your home for sports. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. And this whole thing with the, not related to us fanatics, the apparel fanatics, not CRC Broadcasting 1580 The Fanatic. This whole lawsuit between them and Marvin Harrison Jr. or Marvin Harrison Sr. Now they drug Marvin Harrison Sr. in, and they're now accusing them of fraud. And it is possibly a dicey thing, or at best a mistake. But here's what happened: is they filed a lawsuit against Marvin Harrison Jr., as you all know, because he's like, no, you can't use my name. They're like, well, you signed a thing that said we could use your name. No, you can't use my name. I'm going to sell my own gear. No, you can't sell your gear. We have a deal with this and the NFLPA and all this stuff. So I guess Marvin Harrison Jr. has said, well, Marvin Harrison Sr. signed the binding term sheet, not me. And they're like, well, wait a minute. He signed a contract and then pretended like it was you that signed it. He signed the document in a way that was, supposed to look like Marvin Harrison Jr. had signed it. So now they're like, well, that's fraud. Then I think they might have a good point about that. You're playing with fire when you start screwing with lawyers and you start messing with contracts and stuff. So, yeah. So if you're saying there's no contract because Harrison Sr., not Harrison Jr. signed it, well, then they're going to just say, well, you turned it in and it made it look like that, and you signed it and he didn't sign it. Well, then you're both committing fraud.
Yeah.
So this doesn't look good.
It does not look good. It does reek of scam. So that's not great. Because it puts them in a really bad spot. It's one thing if he didn't sign it and they have a case there. They didn't sign anything and didn't agree to anything. But if they did, then you don't have a leg to stand on here.
So I wonder if the settlement is next. The settlement will be, we won't come after you for fraud if you just admit that that's a signed thing, and now we're in business together like we're supposed to be. Because people will immediately start buying his jersey. If they can settle this before season starts, everybody will then make some money. And whatever Marvin Harrison Jr. and Sr. were trying to do, unfortunately, because of their own misstep, they don't get that. And that just keeps the fraud word put away. The F word gets stashed, right?
Yeah. Because once that becomes official, I don't know that would be that's something that's going to follow you for the rest of your career.
So the Fanatics will probably drop this if you drop that, and then we're back where we should be. And listen, we had all the respect in the world for Marvin Harrison, Sr. and Jr. saying, no, we can make more money on our own. But man, playing the game with that sheet, that's your undoing.
Yeah. Fanatics is a giant company, and giant companies like their money. And they also like to not ever set a precedent where someone can actually rip them off with their money. So this is squashing this. This is important to them. This is personal. and these lawyers are going to be paid like it. I don't think that's fun time. They should probably back down on this one. If they don't have anything stronger than, well, actually Marvin Harrison Sr. is the one that signed it. If you don't have something stronger than that, you just go ahead and lay this one down. Take that out.
Yep. And next thing you know, Moist One, the whole Marvin Harrison, didn't he kill a guy? Didn't he stab somebody? Didn't he shoot someone? All that's going to come back out. Yeah, listen, respect for trying to stick it to the man, but right now, because you did that thing with the little signature thing, you don't get to play the game anymore, man. Settle immediately.
Yeah, just walk away.
And hope to God they don't continue to come after you. You know what I mean?
It seems unlikely that they will. I think they want to stop this for future athletes that want to try this.
I think somebody should try it, but just don't do it the dumb way.
Yeah, I'm saying for them, they want to stop this because they don't want anybody to ever try this again.
Yeah, but will they be nice? They don't have to be.
They don't have
That's
to
the
be.
thing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back in the year 1947, Dan Bankhead became Okay. Yeah, I didn't read that right. Sorry. Became the Major League's first African-American pitcher. 27-year-old right-hander didn't do well pitching in the relief stint, giving up 10 hits and 6 runs in 3 1/3 innings. It was a loss of 16-3. to the Pittsburgh Pirates, but he hit his only big league home run in his major league first at bat. So mixed results, but it doesn't matter. It's just he got there. That's all that mattered.
Absolutely.
He got there. So Dan Bankhead, there you go. 888-368-1580. Also, somebody who waited their entire life to get there finally got there. It's not as historical as Dan Bankhead becoming the first major league African-American player, but Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves made one of his teenage dreams come true last week. Sorta. He signed a one-day contract with the Canadian ice hockey team called the Windsor Spitfires. He used to be a goalie in high school, and he must be pretty good because he was considered a prospect for the Ontario Hockey League, but he got injured, so he took up acting instead. His single day as a Spitfire, they did it for charity, but here he is. He looks very happy with his contract. His Canadian contract. So I don't know if it's worth as much money as an American contract. They gave him a jersey. Yeah. He didn't shave. Though. He didn't shave, but that's all right.
Yeah. It makes him actually look more hockey.
So congratulations to him. I'm sure he'd rather have played, but signed copy of the contract and his jersey. Got his name on the back. They're going to auction all that off to raise money for the Canadian Mental Health Association. And in case you didn't know, Keanu's first feature film was the 1986 hockey movie Youngblood, when he played a goalie.
I did not know that.
Neither did I. I thought he first showed up in Parenthood. So what do I know? Anyway, so congratulations to him as well. All right, guys, that is it. We are done. We're going to go home and eat some food, I hope. I'm very hungry.
Me too.
I think I'm going to have a quesadilla. I think it's going to be a quesadilla.
Not
I think
bad.
that's what's going to happen. The rest of you enjoy your dinner and your day, and we will see you tomorrow at 3 p.m. The Daily Blender here on 1580.